If you'd have told me a month ago that I'd ever see Lise again, I wouldn't have believed you. I was beginning to lose hope. Although, a little part of me always knew that my daughter wouldn't have gone out without a bang. And tears tits, was I right. Not only has my little firecracker reappeared from the deep, she's turned Amaris on its head. Since she's been back, she's cracked the uncrackable prison, sunk the unsinkable ship, and stopped the unstoppable army. And after hearing that the legendary Sea Banshee has returned, thousands of retired pirates have returned to the seas, reinvigorated to make their own names and their own fortunes. And with the help of that former knight captain friend of hers, they've effectively mobilized an army of privateers against the Oran Navy. And the method, it's kinda genius. With Oliver's intel, they're able to post public, reliable estimates of supplies being transported by Oran vessels. And that serves as motivation for the privateers, if they think the bounty aboard is worth it. Privateers turned pirate, motivated by gold, are surprisingly quick to act. And so, the people of Amaris have made it impossible for Oran to reliably get supply ships across sea. Seems the legend of the Sea Banshee was a lot more powerful than any of us could have anticipated. That, paired with Lisa's slaying of the Oran Admiral and petrifying of the new Oran Count, and this war, it's grinded to a halt. And above all else, now her living ship can even fly? I know most parents complain they can't keep up with their kids, but I think I'm at a bit of a disadvantage here. But I know this war, as serious as it is, isn't at the front of Lisa's mind. She somehow has something even more important to worry about. The damned sky fissure. Seemingly tied to the very magic she wields. She puts on a strong face, but I can tell she's been shaken to her core by that experience. And from everything she's told me, this sounds like an end-of-the-world scenario. It's just unfortunate that the end of the world chose such a powerful foe, and my daughter. Whatever happens, I just hope Lise remembers what I told her. People aren't legends. People create legends. And hopefully, she doesn't lose herself in that process.
God damn it.
We are nothing if not consistent. Listen, it's been 2 months, okay? You can cut us some slack.
Here, let me try that again really quick. Welcome back, everyone, to Pull for Initiative, the tabletop role-playing stream where the audience influences the story. My name, of course, is Ben or Benjamin, as I'm known on the internet, and with me I have Seth, otherwise known as NB Banshee, who will be playing today as Lise DeForest. Go ahead and say hi to everyone, Seth. No need to mention the fact that I was muted the first time.
Hello, friends. It's been a while.
In my defense, my typical setup is that I don't have my mic muted, so that when I come into this stream, I'm automatically not muted. I just don't have my mic in the other scenes, but I still have my mic muted from last stream. Anyway, it's not my fault.
Okay. Yeah.
I took 2 months off.
Yeah,
Um,
damn. I don't remember how to play this game. You guys, I rewatched our last episode yesterday in preparation, and I was like, man, tomorrow's gonna be super interesting. Ugh.
it's all right. We'll figure it out together. I've probably forgotten a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
Also, just want to do a quick apology that we took 2 months off. That was certainly not intentional, but I guess we also didn't intend to get sick multiple times in that span.
Yeah, we went to a fun convention, and then we got COVID, and then we went to another fun convention, and I almost died, and it was like,
Yeah, we basically we got hit with a whammy for each convention. It was a tough time.
Yes,
But
but I got new lease dice.
do you want
That
to show
I
everyone?
I will show you because they're so fucking cool. They're red and black with gold leaf. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see that. They're like, uh,
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 well, you're kind of off camera now, but I think they can kind of see
uh,
it.
okay. Well, my
Um,
favorite one is the D6 because it's like, I don't know if you can see, but it's like got gold leaf in the middle, and
mhm.
there's like, you can't see it, but it's cool.
I also have new dice, one of which was a gift from Seth. Is that upside down? That's upside down. I'm showing the D6 because the dragon's the biggest on the D6.
Ah, yes. Yeah, we were at we were at the hall mat or at holiday mat, sorry, and there was this big dice booth, and Ben saw these dice and he was like, "Oh, these are kind of cool." And I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna buy them." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then later I was like, "Here you go."
Yeah, it's dragons that are all chained up. It's really cool. It's like red and gold. Red and gold just looks really cool together. And then I
Yeah.
also got my first ever giant D20, which I will be using for boss fights.
Yeah.
It's got like skulls around the borders and
That
fucking like little bones behind the numbers.
that thing's a unit. That thing is gigantic.
Oh, it like clacks when it hits the dice box too.
Yeah, I bet.
Did you hear
Jeez.
that?
Yeah, it's loud.
Yeah, it's got a fucking thud behind it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using that for boss fights.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff. And that was all a lot of fun, but I've really missed playing D&D. I feel like over the last couple of weeks I've been like, "Ben, I wanna play D&D." He's like, "Well, you have
the
to
en-
wait."
the entire month of January was Seth telling me that they were sick of waiting, and I was like, I'm sorry, I got to get the intro in.
I wanna
Um,
I wanna play my girl.
but I hope
Oh,
the intro was worth the wait. What's that?
yeah, the intro was really cool. I was gonna say, "Oh, speaking of my girl, new armor, bitch, new fucking."
Well. Hold on. You currently do not have
Okay,
any new
well,
armor.
new art. New art. Least
that's a teaser of things to come.
Lise
Um,
went through a bunch of trauma, and now she parts her hair on the other side.
oh yes, the trauma part flip.
Yeah,
You
it's
you
from running her hands through her hair so many times that it's just started parting that way.
girlies have two things they'll do after getting trauma. They'll either part their hair a different way or cut their hair into bangs.
Or dye it a different color.
Oh, that's
Something
true.
with your hair.
That's when you're going through the trauma.
That's true.
That's the transitional phase.
That's fine.
Okay. All jokes aside, I don't want to wait any longer. We've waited for 2 months.
It's been a long time.
Let's get into this, shall we?
Okay, I'm so scared. Ben came into my room last night, and the look he had in his fucking face was really scary. He's like laughing. I was like, "No, this is a
I
kid."
don't know. I don't know that we're gonna get into any of the really fun stuff this session. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But
Either way, I'm excited.
so we pick up 3 weeks, just over 3 weeks from when we last left off. You all saw what has happened so far in the intro. Lots of things have been going on. We pick up inside of Artemis's workshop, his temporary workshop that he has set up on your ship.
Okay.
And Artemis looks very excited. He's beaming with joy as he looks up at you, Lise. And he has both of his hands outstretched and clenched into fists, and opens his hands to reveal 2 rings.
Okay. What you got
2
there,
wedding
little man?
rings.
Oh, I see.
And these are the very 2 wedding rings that you commissioned from Artemis. But when you look at them, they don't look quite how you envisioned.
Okay.
These rings are hexagonal.
What? What do you mean? They're like bolts?
And he says,
So, I made some slight modifications to the design that you gave me because I figured that it could use some improvement.
Hold on. What do you mean improvement? It's a ring.
and he says,
How can you improve a ring? You made it worse to wear. It's like it doesn't even. What is that shape?
he says,
Well, now don't jump to conclusions here, Lise. I think you're going to be really pleased with the modifications.
and he says,
You know, circles are a very let's say, engineerable shape, but hexagons are incredible. The things you can do with hexagons, Lise, and they are one of the strongest shapes out there.
Okay, I'm not really sure that's important. What did you do to them? Hold on. Other than you didn't just change the shape, what did you do?
he says,
Well, first of all, I wasn't able to find rubies, but I was able to find red sapphires, which are superior and very different from rubies.
Okay.
Next up, I made them completely indestructible.
and he drops one of the rings on his anvil and pulls out this massive sledgehammer and brings it down on the ring. Slap! Bang! And bang! 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 Cracks it on the ring multiple times. He lifts up the sledgehammer. The ring looks good as new. The sheen hasn't been damaged at all. Then he says, and that's not all. And he picks it up, tosses it into the furnace, and tosses a stick of dynamite in and shuts it. Boom! And then reopens the furnace, perfectly clean and undamaged.
I mean, okay.
And he says, and that's not all, Lise. Hang on.
And he grabs his little goggles, stretches them out before him, and pops them on his face. And he puts on one of the rings, holds out his fist, and shoots a laser out of the ring, which cuts through one of his shelves.
You're just making lasers in here? What the hell are you doing? What the fuck? Artemis?
And he says,
That's not what I asked for.
He says, hold on, Lise, hold on, wait, it gets better. And then he pushes a tiny little button on the ring, and a little antenna comes out, and he holds up the other ring to your ear, and he speaks into the ring on his finger, and you hear his voice in your ear saying,
they allow for long-form communication.
I have a message for that, my guy. I don't need a ring. My wedding, what?
Think smarter, not harder, Lise.
Oh my god, you're gonna give me an aneurysm, you little man. Why? This is why I don't trust you with things. This is why I don't give you anything.
And above all else, they can do this.
and he takes the other ring, which is a bit larger, and puts it over his finger, and he says,
They can adjust size to fit perfectly to your finger.
Zzz, and it shrinks down to his finger. And then he says,
And then once I started making them shrink, I thought to myself, well, why not make them grow too?
and he pulls it back off and throws it into the air. And suddenly this ring grows to the size of a rowboat and boom, crashes through the floor of the ship. And you begin to fall into the lower decks. And then you wake up.
What? It was a dream? Oh, thank God. I was gonna say, what the hell is this bedlam shit that's happening to me? Oh my God.
And you find yourself laying up against Cassandra when you wake up.
Oh.
And
She wakes up in a cold sweat.
Cassandra is dead asleep. You are actually in the captain's quarters of the Shifting Tempest. And you had pulled a late night last night as you were working with Oliver to map out the newest bounties on Orange ships and which to release at what times. You've been strategically putting out these bounties at just the right time to sort of guide the pirates to where you needed them to be, to the ships you needed them to take down. And you pulled a late night doing so, and you look at the mirror just opposite you, and you see that Oliver is asleep at their chair with a chalkboard of ship names and bounties behind them.
Damn. Well, that's interesting. Good to know. They should probably go sleep in a bed and not in the chair. So they're on their ship.
Yes, and Oliver is on theirs. Yes, you are on yours. They're on the Scarlet Shark.
Okay, cool.
And I think instinctually you maybe check your pocket after having that dream.
Yeah,
And you
just,
find the actual rings that you've purchased.
pat them like, okay, they're still there. Artemis did not ruin them. Goddamn. I look down. I feel like I glance over at my captain's jacket where I stole the cufflinks that I purchased for all of that money and snuck back to Orin to sell them to get the money to buy these rings.
Yes, you did quite a few things off camera in that 3-week span, and one of those was reselling those very expensive cufflinks to instead buy some pretty decent wedding wings.
Wedding wings?
Did I say wings? I meant rings.
Wedding wings!
But do you want to describe these wedding rings?
Yeah, so Lise got a gold band with it's in the design of a little branch that has like these gold leaves, and they sort of encircle this center gem, which is a ruby, otherwise known as a red sapphire. With I can't remember if it's just a little diamond, or just a little. It's just got a little ruby, just something simple and elegant. That kind of matches her aesthetic. And then something kind of matching, but in a different style for Cassandra. It's a gold band with, so that sort of ruby inlay. So it doesn't have a center gem, but I think that Cassandra, I don't think that her jewelry style is like center cut gems. I think that she would wear something more like this, something that's more like, I don't know, a little more masculine maybe, but I think that's
traditionally
just more
masculine.
Yeah, I think that's more her vibe.
But yes, those rings are still safely in your pocket and have not been touched by Artemis and his inventor ways.
Yeah. Damn, thank God. Nice. Well, I think that over the last 3 weeks, Lise has been, after everything that happened, I think that she has kind of been quarantining herself from other people. I think that maybe for the first week, she didn't even sleep in the same room as Cassandra, for just genuine fear of accidentally hurting them again. So I think that there's been a kind of a distance between her and everyone else. But she has had, a lot of work to do. So she's obviously been talking to Oliver through the mirror, and it's been 3 weeks. So if no more of that has happened, then I think she's probably slowly getting back to sleeping in the same bed. This might be one of the first times she's gone back and actually slept in the same bed as Cassandra since like that whole incident.
To be clear,
just-
you are not currently in bed. Cassandra is leaned up against the wall, and you are leaned up against Cassandra. It's sort of you didn't plan on sleeping. You at some point fell asleep last night and didn't intend to.
I see. Okay. She's like, well, can I get up without waking up Cassandra? She's leaning against me.
Cassandra's a very heavy sleeper. She's fully out. If you stand up, she kind of shifts a little bit and groans, but goes right back to sleep.
Okay. I think also that Lise has been not sleeping well. I think that she's been obviously a lot of stress with everything that's like been going on, but I think that she's been having like not good dreams. Last night's was obviously just another weird stress dream about the rings. But I truly think that she's had nightmares of like accidentally like hurting everybody and like in one of those like fiery explosions and shit. So I think that most of the time she like has not been sleeping. Like she'll lay down somewhere and then get up every like few hours and walk around and then try and go back to sleep. So I think that right now it's like maybe like just before sunrise is kind of when she's been getting up and going to like the bow of the ship or the helm. What is the very front of the ship called?
The bow?
The bow. Okay, I was right the first time.
The bow and the stern?
Yeah, I think that she's been going to the bow of the ship and just kind of standing out there, like waiting for sunrise.
Before you can do that, a couple things. You have not had this explosion happen again since the incident in Southern Azure. And everyone you talk to has had nothing for you about this. Even Merlin, in all his wisdom, hasn't ever really seen something like this. And he has consulted his library multiple times and has found no kind of information on this. Why this crack in the sky had formed, why you experienced this bizarre experience while it did. And that's kind of been at the forefront of his investigations. However, before we go any further, I have our first poll for the audience. Everyone. Lise hears a strange noise. But from where?
Uh-oh.
And a reminder to vote, type 1 in chat or 2 in chat. 1 in chat for above deck or 2 in chat for below deck. We had to get into a poll as soon as possible, right at the start of Act 4.
It's even more interesting, too, because it's just Lux and Ray in chat right now. They're either going to agree or it's a 50-50.
And then we will roll a d20. That said, while that poll is happening, you are currently in the sky on your flying ship just off the coast of No Man's Sky.
How the fuck? No Man's Sky.
Or No Man's Land. Sorry, not the video game that kind of fell on its face. No Man's Land.
Well, we're in the sky, so
it is, you know what? It is No Man's Sky.
It is No Man's Sky.
I would say most of the skies in this world are No Man's Sky.
So did we kick Orin out of No Man's Land?
We'll find that out soon. A lot of this intro area will be catching up on everything.
Interesting.
It sounds like you're going to hear a sound below deck.
All right.
So hang on just a second. You suddenly hear someone yelling below deck.
Who?
You hear Helga say, "Yes! Yes! Big and strong!" Yelling
oh my
below
god.
Deck.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, I go. I quietly get up and try not to disturb this Cassandra, and I go see what Helga's yelling about. I'm like, did it happen? Did it happen finally?
Cassandra is still fully asleep on the floor. You rush into the room, and you see Helga. You've burst into the room excitedly. Helga is kneeling over one of the pots in her quarters, and is inspecting her peonies, which are growing in the flower pots that you all picked up over the break. And she is inspecting it, and she is very pleased with what she's seeing.
Oh my gosh, Helga! They look so good! You've been doing a good job taking care of them.
She's holding the peonies with one hand and pumping her other arm, and cheering, saying, "Yes, yes, Helga's flowers, big and strong!"
Yeah, hell yeah, big and strong.
And she has just now noticed you, and she says, Lise, come look at Helga peonies.
I see them. They look great.
She
You're
says,
doing a
touch
good
petals.
job. Well, all right. Just very gently, though.
She says, smell.
Oh, okay. I smell them. they smell like peonies.
They do smell very strongly. You can tell that she has been following Elizabeth's instructions to the letter and taking as perfect care of them as she possibly could, being absolutely certain not to overwater or underwater, giving them just the right amount of sun. She even occasionally would take them above deck and leave them up there during certain times of the day.
Am I still writing her correspondence for her, or has she figured out that she figured that out herself?
So far, you have managed to keep the ruse up, but you have been teaching Helga to write, and she's been very studious about it. In fact, whenever she's not taking care of her peonies, she has been writing her letters repeatedly to get them right and having you check on them. And in fact, she says, "Oh, Lise, look at Helga's Y's," and pulls out a parchment which has the letter Y written many, many times on the sheet, but are getting progressively better the lower down the sheet you go.
Wow, Helga, these are so good. You're improving. It's good. It took me a while to learn my alphabet too, don't worry. But this is great. It's so good.
She is so elated, and she says, "That is because Helga is genius."
Yeah, that's why. Absolutely.
She is clearly having the best morning she's had in a while right now.
Good. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you have, first of all, found something to do that you enjoy, and also that the ship now has flowers on it because, I don't know, flowers are nice. They smell good.
She says, "You think we start putting flowers around ship?"
Yeah, if they're ready to be put around the ship, then yeah.
She immediately picks up two of the pots and says, "Where?"
I mean, you gotta have a decorative eye, right? You can't just put them anywhere. I feel like I'd take her around and point out spots that they could get good sunlight in, and just places that they would look nice, out of the way.
Mm-hmm. As you're doing this, as you're looking for locations on the ship to place these, another familiar face rolls up to you. It's Merlin, and his face is absolutely coated in frost and ice. His beard is practically frozen solid at this point, and his hair is matted down and frozen. And he's actually warming his hands and melting the ice off of his head right now. And he says, "Oh, you're up early, Lise. Although I suppose you've been doing that recently."
Yeah, what the hell happened to you? Why are you covered in ice?
And he says, "Oh, just another expedition to the Sky Fissure."
Right.
Still no results.
Okay.
And he says, no matter how much I attempt to get closer and closer to the sky fissure, it never seems to get closer. I flew as far as I've ever flown this time. I must have gotten to at least 20 or 30,000 feet at this point.
Damn.
And still, it got no closer.
Well, it's obviously like some kind of magical fissure, right? Because the sky doesn't just do that, right?
He says, correct, but that's the strangest part. I can't even identify the form of magic. It just gives off a general magic aura, as if it's comprised of all magic.
Right. Well, we still don't know what it is, so I'm not really surprised that it's just sort of all magical. After everything that happened, that is not surprising information to learn.
He says, I just wish that I could somehow get closer to it. I feel I could maybe study it better if I could, but again, no matter how fast or how long I fly for, I get no closer. And your ship is capable of flying no higher than this.
Right. That is quite strange. Do we know where it came from? Like, there was that beam of light. Have we figured out where that was, or where it originated from?
He says, my answer is going to have to be the same as it was last time you asked, and that's that we still haven't heard anything more detailed. All we know is in the general vicinity of the Oran Empire.
I wonder if we shouldn't ask Helia. Because, it affected me and my power comes from her, so perhaps she might know something.
And he says, that could be a good next course of action.
Right. Okay. Well, I suppose keep up the good work.
He continues melting off chunks of ice from his beard, and he says, oh, by the way, Artemis wanted me to tell you, once you were awake, that he's ready for you.
All right. Suspicious, but sure, I'll go.
And he says, I'll go with you.
All right.
And
here, Helga has something for you.
and he says, oh, what's that? And Helga pushes an entire flower pot toward him, and she says, smell! And he says, oh, those smell lovely.
Yeah.
And she says, feel! And he touches the petals, and he says, oh, so silky soft. He says, truly, I think you may be one of the most skilled florists I've ever known, Helga.
She's quite proud of it. She worked really hard.
And he says, it absolutely shows. I don't know that I've seen more perfect peonies than these.
Fantastic. Okay, Helga, you continue to go put those around. I gotta go see a guy about a thing.
Helga is like shifting back and forth between both her heels as she gets Merlin's praise. Clearly so excited to show these to Elizabeth.
Good.
And you proceed over to the back part of the deck, where Artemis has set up a temporary workshop on your ship.
Mm-hmm. Good.
You see these like massive like bookshelves that are like pushed up against the entire backside, and or I guess not backside, they're pulled forward, and they sort of form a wall between the rest of the ship and Artemis's like workshop area. Not intentionally, but just to store all of his many tools and gadgets. And there are so many supplies like hanging off the shelves and everything that there's like a singular door opening to the back area, and it's kind of like you have to like squeeze your shoulders together to get through.
God damn, Artemis! When I told you that you could set up a workshop on my ship, this is really not what I meant.
And as you say that out loud, you hear, and he says, "Oh, Lise!" And you hear like everything crashing as he was startled, and you hear him shuffling out, and he comes out, and his hand is all greasy, and he stretches it out to shake your hand. And he says,
Welcome to my workshop.
You know that I love you, and you also know that there's no way in hell I'm going to touch your hand when it's all greasy.
He grabs a rag from his tool belt and wipes it off, and it's just kind of the standard level of dirty that his hands usually are.
All right.
He throws that rag over his shoulder, and he claps his hands together and he says,
Lise, you're really gonna like what I have to show you today.
All right. It better be nothing like my dream last night. This is starting vaguely similar, and I don't like it.
And he says, "Your dream? Wait, you were dreaming about this?
Never mind. What do you have?
Wait, you dream about me, Lise?
All right. Nope. Not like that.
And he says, "Come on, right this way," and starts heading into his workshop. And
She's
Merlin holds his hand out for Lise to go first.
She's like, Merlin, I don't even think you could fit your wheelchair through here. So like, good luck. She starts just trying to move past things. Like when you're trying to move into a space without hitting anything or touching anything, but she's also definitely knocking shit over when she's trying to get it.
Give me an intelligence save.
Oh God, no. Oh no. Intelligence? Okay, I'm pretty good at that, I think. Oh fuck yeah, baby. 21.
With that 21, you know instinctually, just knowing that Artemis is significantly shorter than you, you know to duck below the first shelf to the entrance. It is not going to be tall enough for you. Go ahead and give me a dexterity save.
Oh my God, Artemis! She's dodging and weaving. 17.
Ooh, with 17, he had pushed a little flag out of the way that was dangling out that has a little flag on the end that says, work in progress, do not disturb. He pushes it out of the way, and as he moves out of the way, it flies back and whaps you in the face.
Artemis!
Now give me a wisdom save.
Oh my God. I'm never ever coming back in here after this. Whoa, what save? Sorry, did you say wisdom?
Wisdom save.
Oh my God. Oh no. 9.
And with that, you seemingly did not learn from the first duck and proceed to thwack your head on another object that is dangling off the shelves, nearly laying you out flat backwards.
Artemis!
And as you emerge, as you emerge to the other side with those two failures, you stumble forward and collapse onto his desk, and just everything falls over, and you break a couple vials.
I think she sits up. And there's a little bit of blood, but and not she's got a little cut and there's a bruise or something, and she's like, Artemis.
As you emerge into the main part of his little workshop, and collapse forward like this, Artemis looks back at you and he says, "Oh my, Lise, be careful, please."
Oh yeah, Artemis, I'll just be careful. Yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah.
And Merlin comes through behind you. You're not quite sure how he got through all that, but he seems perfectly fine. And he says, "Honestly, Lise, we can't take you anywhere, can we?"
She's like, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, you old man. You stupid magic old man. Don't you fucking talk down to me.
And you see across from you, there is a large blanket that is resting on top of something, a large sheet that is resting on top of something at the other end of the workshop. The workshop, by the way, is this like bizarre like little alcove surrounded by tools and gadgets and a blast plate and a furnace and all kinds of testing stations, a few workbenches covered in clamps and different tools like hammers and wrenches and stuff just scattered everywhere, horribly unorganized, but reminds you quite a bit of his old workshop back in Caliban.
How do you even exist in this environment? I'm having a panic attack just being here.
And he says,
Oh, everything here is organized to a very specific system that I have.
Do you know what? Of course it is. That makes perfect sense, and I don't want you to explain it to me.
And he says,
Quick, ask me for anything.
and Merlin says, a 5/8 wrench. And Artemis says, easy, and kicks a shovel that's on the ground, which flies forward, hits a shelf, and knocks a 5/8 wrench into his hand instantly.
How about what I came here for? How about that?
He says, Right, we're here to show you my newest and greatest creation yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
And he says,
Lise, you gave me quite a bit of money and tools to work with, and I'm happy to say that we're finally ready for an unveiling.
Okay. I did give you a lot of money, didn't I? I really don't have that much left, but that's okay. So, this better be worth it, or else I'm going to be really pissed off.
and Merlin says, you got a really good deal from Artemis for this.
I'm sure that I did.
And Artemis grabs the sheet and pulls it away, and you see the commissioned armor that you had requested from Artemis, and it looks incredible.
Ooh, hell yeah, Fan, that looks sick.
You see the massive flowing red cloak. You see the bodice, the gold-plated bodice with the elven chainmail wrapped around the waist. You see the winged boots, complete with the gold finishings toward the bottom. It is stunning.
Hell yeah, dude, I'm gonna look like a goddamn war mage in that thing. Look out, Orin, new bitch in town.
And as he's showing you this outfit, he says,
And of course, we couldn't make such an impressive garb without giving it some functionality as well.
Ooh, all right, what have you done?
and he says,
First up, we have the Phoenix Wing Cloak.
and he grabs that feathered cloak and lifts it up to show you. And he says,
Enchanted with perpetual slowfall. Here,
Ooh.
I'll demonstrate.
and opens a drawer on his work table, pulls out a scrap of similar material with the red feathers, and rubber bands it to a glass vial and tosses the vial into the air. And the vial slowly drifts down to the ground, and lightly taps the bottom of your ship, not even cracking.
Damn, I could have used this when I was in that purple worm. I really, this really could have come clutch, like a little while ago. But no, that's sick. I'm sure I'll get some use out of that, for sure.
And he says, but that's not all, of course. And he grabs your hand and has you walk up to the blast plate toward the back of his workshop, and he says,
Quick, give me a fireball.
Well, I'm not going to give you a fireball, but I'll give you
He
a
says,
fireball.
No. Blast a fireball at that bitch.
A A whole fireball?
Yep. Trust me.
It's a 20-foot sphere, Artemis.
Trust me.
All right. Fucking. Should I burn a spell slot for a 3rd level fireball?
That's what he's telling you to do.
All right. Fucking.
You toss a 3rd level fireball at the blast plate. And normally you would expect a massive explosion, but the explosion seems to be dampened a bit by this enchanted blast plate and whoosh, is absorbed into the plate. And he says,
Good. That wasn't part of the demonstration. That was just step 1. And he says, now come right this way.
Okay.
and he still has your hand and places your hand on one of the skull pauldrons, and specifically the skull of Lockjaw.
Yeah, just in case anybody didn't notice that little detail, the skull with the jaw is Lockjaw, and the other one is the Empress of Orin, whose skull I stole a long time ago.
And he says,
Now take a deep breath and say surge.
Say what?
Surge.
Surge? Okay. all right.
And as you say that, these flaming eyes on the skull of Lockjaw extinguish, and you suddenly realize you felt a very light weight over your entire body that is instantly gone, and you recover that 3rd level spell slot.
Oh shit.
It actually kind of like, it feels like you kind of got like maybe like poof in the chest a little bit because that weight was lifted so quickly.
All right. Cool.
And he says, and that's not all. And
Okay.
He slides one of the bracers off of this suit of armor, and he walks back over to the blast plate where he has this like strange machine with a tube extended out of it. And he holds the bracer up to it and clicks a button on a little clicker that he has, and a fireball poof, hits this bracer and reflects off to the blast plate and is reabsorbed. And he says,
Not only do you have the fire core skulls, you've also got the phoenix mirrors.
Okay. Shit. Cool. I'll take it. Hell yeah.
These phoenix mirrors are able to reflect spells 3rd or lower as a reaction, and higher levels with a skill check.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And then finally he says he slides the bracer back onto the mannequin that is like perfectly your proportions, and he says,
And the phoenix wing cloak, the phoenix fire cores, and the phoenix mirrors, all together with the rest of the outfit, create the phoenix phalanx.
And he gestures to the entire outfit, and he says,
And when the entire outfit is together, it has one more additional skill.
This really is just like my dream, except you tricked out my armor instead of my rings.
And he grabs the hand of the mannequin and places it on his shoulder. And you see these like magic tendrils going between his shoulder and the hand of the mannequin. And he says,
Now take the mannequin's other hand.
All right.
and he says,
Now envision what I'm currently wearing in your mind.
I look down at his like grease covered like overalls or whatever he's wearing.
yeah, he's got like brown, like he's got like a brown greasy apron. He's got like a ruffled shirt. These like baggy cargo pants. And little goggles on his head.
Right.
As you are envisioning that outfit in your head, suddenly the Phoenix Phalanx changes form, and it looks exactly like what he's wearing.
Oh shit. It's like if I used magic, but it's just on the armor. So it, whoa, I don't know what accent that was. It's just on the armor, so now I don't have to use a spell slot.
He says, you'll need to touch whatever outfit you want it to memorize for 5 seconds. But once those 5 seconds are up,
and he takes the hand off of his shoulder, but the outfit stays for the Phoenix Phalanx. And he says,
it will have memorized it.
Sick. That's good. Having to change costumes was really annoying and like took a lot of time out of my adventuring and whatnot.
And he says, now keep in mind, it's not actually changing the material in a physical way. It's all an illusion. So if you wear heavier armors, it'll be a little easier for people to notice that something's not quite right. After all, it's not quite as heavy. It's not moving quite exactly the same as it should. So the bigger the armor, the harder the illusion will be to make.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like a lot of my disguises are just like regular clothes anyway. So that should be okay. That'll be
It
good.
should handle standard clothes, no problem.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks, dude. That's fucking sick. I didn't know what to expect when I asked you to get me some armor, but this is hell yeah.
He steps back, and I think maybe you let go of the mannequin's hand. And now that it's no longer connected to you, it returns to its glamorous form. And he says,
Now, of course, I couldn't just leave it at that armor.
What do you mean?
He says, I have some extra gifts for you.
Okay. Artemis, this is too much.
chat, we've got another poll for you.
Oh, okay.
Artemis has prepared some gifts for Lise. Is the first gift going to be powerful or fast? Vote 1 in chat for powerful, 2 in chat for fast.
Interesting. Honestly, I'm good with either one. I don't know. I'm just curious what they are. Follow your dreams. Go with your heart.
And he's heading over to another one of his desks, and there's actually a safe. He enters in like the longest code you've ever seen, like lightning fast, like spinning the dial crazy speed. It's so fast you can't even tell what numbers he's inputting.
Jesus Christ.
And then suddenly, the safe pops open. And he pulls out the spark of friendship.
Oh.
He pulls out this gold-plated handled hammer with this massive hammer head that has like wings along the sides, and it's a massive sledgehammer, and he lifts it up, and he says,
Now, I can't have the Chaos Crusaders running around and using basic tools, not when I'm under their employ.
and he plops this onto the table, and he says,
Let me introduce you to the Spark of Friendship.
Oh my god. I think Helga's going to pee her pets.
he says,
This handy little device, once per day, it takes a while to recharge, can become lighter when swinging, allowing for an additional attack during a standard attack turn.
he picks it up and squeezes the handle, and a golden light emits from it, and he suddenly is swinging it around as if it's like a stick from a tree, and boom, 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 banging it on different shelves. He actually breaks one of his shelves in the process, and twirls it in one hand, his tiny little hand able to twirl this massive maul, and then plants it back down onto the table.
I think Helga might cry, Artemis. I think you might make her cry.
And you noticed that when he was swinging it, it seemed like it was lighter when swinging, but instantly became heavier whenever it hit something, maintaining that like momentum and actually doing a lot of damage, even though it was light during the swing.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And I have another poll for chat.
Okay.
Chat, is the second gift going to be versatile, or is it going to be focused? Vote 1 in chat for versatile, 2 in chat for focused.
Interesting.
And he makes his way over to the second safe under his desk, and again flies through the code incredibly fast, and pops open the safe.
All right, what do you got this time? You gonna pull out another hammer or something? Goddamn. I think Lise, by the way, while they're like, while he's like doing all of this, I think that she's impatiently like, ow, god damn it. Okay, never mind. I tried to move my legs up to sit on them and it was painful. I think she's sort of like scooting closer to her armor and like slowly taking it off the mannequin, and like while he's talking to her, she's like slowly like putting it on.
She can't wait.
Yeah.
He retrieves 2 flintlock pistols that have lightning bolts wrapped around the barrel.
Ooh.
Golden lightning bolts to match the same gold of the hammer and your armor. The barrel painted this deep red to match the reds of your outfit. The hammer also matching the same color scheme.
Damn.
And he pulls out these pistols and he twirls them in the air, and he says,
I made some modifications to Cassandra's flintlocks.
I'm sure she'll love that.
These are called the Thunder Pistols.
Okay.
And he has some dummies set up toward the other corner of his workshop, and he bang, 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 is shooting around his shoulders rapidly. These thunder pistols now have an effective range of 5 to 300 feet, so they can be used anywhere a sword is at close range, and as far as the shortest range of a longbow.
Damn.
And he says,
with some proper rifling, they've become far more accurate and much more usable up close.
And he twirls them some more, and you realize that as he's firing these pistols, that they seem to be doing more damage too. These are +1 flintlock pistols, meaning a +1 to attack rolls and a +1 to damage.
Nice. Shit, yeah, Cassandra's gonna love that. She likes shooting things. It's
he twirls them. He twirls them a little more. Sorry, he twirls them a little more, and I think he's doing like, if anyone has seen the Ocelot animation from Metal Gear Solid.
He's just like twirling them all around.
Yeah. It gets a little ridiculous at one point. He's clearly just having fun showing off at this point.
That's so funny. She's like, all right, I think that we get it. Oh my god, that's so much twirling. Why are you twirling it so much? I get it.
And he claps them down onto the desk with the hammer. And he says,
I'll let you break the news to everyone about these newest gadgets.
Well, thank you, Artemis. I mean, really not what I was expecting at all. Sick as fuck. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
He says, absolutely. Just remember to mention Artemis's artifacts whenever anyone asks.
I do that thing that short people hate. I pick him up to give him a hug.
He says, what are you doing? space!
She's like, nope, you're not escaping it.
He says, actually, I do have one more thing to show you.
Oh my god, awesome.
He kind of nervously glances over at Merlin, who nods.
Nope, what is this coup? Are you gonna coup me? What's that called? Mutiny? Are you gonna mutiny on my ship?
He says, no, nothing quite like that. It's just, this is the less fun one.
Oh no, okay. Oh wait, alright, hold on. I'll get serious. Okay, I'm serious now.
Yeah, you're serious with this, with half of the armor put on and half of it
Yeah,
not.
she's literally still getting into it.
And he looks one more time at Merlin and he says, "You're sure?" I assume you've put him down by now.
No, I'm still holding him. Yeah, no. I put him
you're
down.
holding him out like you hold like a pet.
How I literally Lisa and Foxbud in that picture where she's
Yeah.
holding him up.
But no, you've put him down, and he looks
Yeah.
back once more over at Merlin. He says, "You're sure?" He says, "You don't have to be here for this." And Merlin nods again. He says, "Okay," and he presses a button on his workbench, and another compartment on the bookshelves slides open, revealing that core that you stole from South Azure.
Right. I was gonna ask you about that.
The glowing blue core of the Valiver that had yet
With-
to be made.
With the person on the inside? Yeah, I remember. I was there.
And he says,
Okay, so I've studied the core for the past few weeks, and I think I have a thorough understanding of how it works.
I think that seeing it, I think that she hasn't seen it since she gave it to Artemis. So like seeing it again, I feel like she kind of briefly has a moment of just like remembering like the fire and the like hurting her friends. And I think that she kind of like instinctually just like looks away while he's talking.
yeah. And he says,
So, it turns out that most of the magic and cursing is done during the time of sealing. Not much magic is actually required to keep the soul in there. It's actually all mechanical and electrical at that point. So, I ran into a problem. How are we to have a spell to dispel this magic if there's no magic in the first place? And so, I came up with these.
and he slides open a drawer of that same workbench, and you see a handful of flintlock bullets, and he picks up one of the thunder pistols and loads it in, and cocks the pistol, and you see in the desk that he has many versions of these bullets, but this one seems to be the latest iteration. They're kind of hollowed out in the center and are like crackling with electricity. And he says,
The best method I could think of was to shock all the electronics to destroy them.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
he says,
And in theory, it should hopefully release the soul too. Once the machine's broken, there's nothing keeping it inside.
Okay.
and he aims at the core and fires, and you see all the blue light that it was glowing with is instantly extinguished, and like kind of blue particles kind of, dissipate off, and you feel this like ethereal presence pass through the workshop, and you swear that you could have heard in your ear, "Thank you."
She gets like full body goosebumps. All the hair on her body is like standing on it, and she's like, okay.
And he says,
This is the best solution I could come up with. If you can get a good shot on the Valiver with one of these shots, it should instantly take them down and release the soul.
Do I have to? It doesn't have to hit the box itself, right? It should just like a headshot, would fry the electronics.
It needs to be fired at the chest where the core would be.
Okay.
The way this is going to work is these shots will do double damage against the Valiver. And if you manage a nat 20, it will instantly disable that Valiver.
Okay.
So
Nice.
you need a perfect
That's
shot
awesome.
at the chest.
That's good, yeah. Well, it's good. It's a good thing Cassandra is, she's good with the guns because God knows I couldn't do that.
And he grabs from that drawer a large bag of these same charged shots, and he says,
The bag should negate the electrical charges as long as you keep them inside.
Okay, that's good. I know these are like limited, right? We should save these for only when we're fighting the Valiver.
he says,
I packed about 100 in there, and I'm planning to mass produce these for not just you guys, but for anyone who will take them.
That's fair, yeah. If Orin is planning to use the Valiver in the rest of this war, which is what they were made for, then yeah, as many people who can have them is best, for sure.
and you maybe look over at Merlin again, and you realize that he seemed anxious for a while there, but after seeing the core disabled, you feel like you saw him let out a sigh of relief.
Yeah. I think that she kind of takes the bag or whatever from him and puts them with the flintlocks, and she's like, well, thank you for all that you've done. I know that these past few years have been very hard. And you haven't had the resources that you've needed, but I'm glad we were able to get you something. We definitely couldn't do this without you.
Artemis blushes a little bit, and he puts his hand on the back of his neck. He's like,
It's not that big a deal. I'm just doing what I'm good at.
Well, we're lucky to have you.
and he says,
Anyway, I haven't slept in 5 nights.
and
Oh my
collapses,
God!
instantly collapses onto the floor and is out like a light, sleeping.
She's so, I feel like she is caught between absolutely flabbergasted and also, fully, expecting this. So, I think she, for a minute's and then she's like, all right.
You notice that he kind of collapsed perfectly on a pile of blankets that he had up against the desk, like he's done this before. And Merlin chuckles a little bit and says, "He'll be fine. It's best we let him sleep."
Yeah, she looks at the blankets and she goes, he fully planned this. he fully planned this.
Merlin says, "He's nothing if not efficient."
Efficient should be his goddamn middle name. All right, I guess I take the new tools to give to Cassandra and Helga.
And you make your way back out of the little workshop, making sure to make note of all of your mistakes from last time.
I think just out of spite, she knocks something off the shelf on her way out.
All right, give me a dexterity save.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Crit fail.
Oh, no. Okay. You knock down a grip wrench, which falls forward and extends out, which knocks over a screwdriver, which kind of spins out of control and knocks over a bunch of ball bearings, which roll out onto the floor. And you step forward onto them and whoa, fly forward. And onto your ass and then back as you roll out of the little workshop area. to see Helga and Cassandra standing there staring at you as you roll out of here so ungracefully.
Lisa's like wearing her badass new armor, just fucking fully prone on the floor. And I think she just looks up and is like, I'm never going back in there.
And Merlin, of course, comes out completely unscathed and calls out to you. Again, you're not sure how he fit through there, but by the time you look behind you, he's already through. And he says, honestly, Lise, I thought you would have learned your lesson by now.
Shut up.
You've also got this. You've got this big maul in the flintlocks in your hands.
Yeah, I think she lays there for a minute, just out of spite, and then she's like, "All right," and then she gets up. She's like, "Okay, great news." I do a full twirl and like pose, and I start voguing.
Everybody starts clapping, and Helga says, "It is the friendship armor."
Well, she says, "This is not the friendship armor, but," and I present her new maul, and I'm like, "This is your new friendship maul."
The spark of friendship, you hand that over to her, and she says, "It is pretty."
And watch. Dude, how did he activate the lightness of it?
He had to squeeze the handle, but unfortunately, he's already done that for today, so its charge is expended.
Okay, well, tomorrow, when you squeeze this part, it'll get lighter, so you can swing it around more. Yeah. You can do that
Helga
once a day.
Helga says, "But the old maul just is perfectly fine. Do not need lighter."
No. This one's special because it's made from friendship, right? Just for you. So
you say that, and her eyes get really wide, and she says, "Oh, then this one must be better."
Yes, it's made special with all the friendship in the world just for you.
She hugs it to her chest, and she says, "Helga will not let anything happen to Hammer."
Well,
what was it called?
It's called the Spark of Friendship.
And you say that, and she gasps again, and she says, "Spark of friendship will be safely wielded in Helga's strong hands."
Yes, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. And I turn to Cassandra, and I'm like, "Good morning. I love you. Hello. Also, you look beautiful. Also, here you go."
Yeah. And she says, "How did you manage such a crazy fall?"
I don't want to talk about it.
She says, "The armor looks great, though."
I know. Look at my butt in it.
She blushes a little bit, and then she looks to see if Merlin and Helga are looking, and then she quickly glances over, and she says, "Your butt does look pretty good in it."
It looks great in these pants. I know. Okay. I relay all the information about the flintlock and the bullets to her.
She takes hold of the thunder pistols, and she says, "Oh yeah, these even feel well made."
Yeah, I mean, Artemis made them, so of course they're well made. But
and she slides them into her bandolier.
But yeah, so we'll have to use these bullets on the Valva, and he said chest shot. Hopefully well aimed, but you're a damn sharpshooter, so I'm not really worried about it.
She says, "Oh," as she takes the bag and she opens the bag and peeks in, and I think a little bit of the electricity arcs up and kind of shocks her hair, and her hair does that thing where it stands up on end.
Lisa's like, oh.
And she slowly lowers the bag and closes it again.
Yeah, maybe don't do that again. Great look. You should keep it, actually. It looks great on you.
She slicks it back down, and she says, "Shut up."
No, seriously, it looks great. I think you should keep it. I think you should. Yeah. Look, I got a new haircut. I got a new hairstyle. Why can't you? Why can't you have a new hairstyle? I don't see
And she looks at you while you're saying all this and doesn't say anything and like maintains eye contact with you and eventually says, I could push you back down onto the ball bearings.
I don't want to go back on the floor. She runs away.
And Cassandra cinches the bag to her belt.
Did you add those items to their D&D Beyond?
I have not, but I can make note of what they are for you.
Yeah, because I'll have to keep track of that next time we're in combat.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. And Merlin then says, I think it's about time for you guys to drop me off, right?
Where are we dropping you off again?
And you recall that's right, you're meeting up with the Dredgenaught, which is heading to New Orin in order to drop off Merlin so that he can go consult the library at Caliban U again.
Right. Okay. There's something that I kind of want to do, but I also am. I think I haven't fully decided that it's something that I want to do because it would require me to pick my 6th level spell. And I don't know that I want to commit to it just yet because there is one that I think could be better.
I mean, if you want to cast something, knock yourself out.
I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so I guess I'll decide that before we meet up with them. But before we meet up with the Dredgenaught, I would like to have a moment, if I could, with Cassandra.
All right. You pull Cassandra aside.
I want to take her to the front of the ship.
Okay.
And like I said, I feel like it's pretty early because of how I've been sleeping. So I wanted to be like, the sun is like just starting to peek over the horizon. So the sky is kind of like that really pretty, like pink and orange. And we're on the ocean. So it's very...
You're above the ocean, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we're in the sky. Wait, that's so much cooler. I forgot to. Okay, remind me after this. You have to tell me how my ship can fly. I completely just glossed over that information. Because I still haven't talked to the Tempest about any of that. Or she probably has, but I, Seth, don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I think I want to take Cassandra to the front of the ship. And I feel like it's really quiet up here in the clouds. But I think that, damn, you got a great view of like the ocean and the sky. How high up are we?
So the Shifting Tempest, the maximum height that it's able to fly at is 8,000 feet. Much higher than that, the air becomes too thin.
Yeah, so it's cold up here. We're probably wearing like our cloaks and whatnot. Okay. So yeah, I think that she takes Cassandra to the front of the ship and she says, "Hey, do you got a minute?"
She says, yeah. We're just waiting to meet up with the Dredgenaught, yeah?
Yeah. But, before that, there was, it's just something that I wanted to talk about. Lisa's like really nervous. I think
as you say all that, that makes Cassandra very nervous and her eyes get very, very wide.
Lisa's doing all of her nervous tics. She's like chewing on her lips and she's like fucking fidgeting with like her nails and like tugging on like her clothes and like just being all of the nervous tics.
All of this is making Cassandra significantly more nervous.
I think that she doesn't even look at her for a minute. She's like, I think she kind of is trying to take a minute to calm down. And she looks out towards the sunset. Or not the sunset, the sunrise.
Sunrise.
The sunrise. Something with the sun.
Better than a sunset.
And she says, I have I want there's something that I would like to ask you. And you're not going to like it, but it's something that I need you to promise me.
And dude, she's sweating bullets now. You can practically hear her heart racing out of her chest, with her eyes wide. She your nervousness has made her significantly more nervous. She's terrified of what you're about to say, and she says, "Okay."
She says, we've been through a lot together, and I've been thinking about this a lot, especially over the last 2 weeks. And I need you to promise me. And she fully turns to face her, and she says, I need you to promise that if something happens to me and I can't be here anymore, I need you to promise me that you will live. I need you to promise that you will run and you will go and live your life.
Cassandra, after you say that, her eyes become a little less wide, and she goes, "Oh my god, I thought you were gonna break up with me."
Oh. What? Break up, Cassandra!
And Cassandra says, and she grabs your hands in her hands and looks you in the eye, and she says, "Lise, if something were to happen to you, I'm gonna fucking raise hell to bring you back. Are you kidding me? I'm going through every last plane of the divine planes to hunt your ass down, and then I'm gonna kill you for dying."
No, that's not what you're supposed to say, Cassandra. You're supposed to promise me that you're going to live a happy life.
She says, "Sorry, babe, but as long as you're dating me, you're stuck with me."
And then she's just glaring at her. There's tears forming in her eyes. She's trying to be angry, but she can't be mad.
And she says, "Are you kidding me? After everything we've been through, if I can't raise a little divine hell to bring you back, what good am I?" And she kisses you.
Okay, all right. Damn, you're so gay.
And then she pushes your hands back down again, and she says, "But you're not allowed to die. Let me be clear about that."
Well, I'm not planning on it. I just, with everything that's been going on, it's just been really heavy on my mind. What would happen to you if I died? And and she takes a really big deep breath, and her hands are shaking a little bit. Her palms are real sweaty. And she says, I have something else to say also. While we're here. And I have kind of a lot to say, so I need you to just hold all of your everything until I am finished, okay? Can you do that?
She is you see that nervous look on her face again, and she says, "Okay."
She says, okay. Cassandra. And you see that she's like actively trying not to start crying. She says, I think she takes her hands and she says, she's kind of like rubbing her thumbs like absent-mindedly over her hands. She says, before I met you, I never wanted anything. I was unhappy, yes, but I was content in it. I would have rotted away in Rune without ever having left it, miserable and complacent. And then I met you, and my whole life turned upside down, but you were there with me through all of it. And God, you met a young, stupid, spoiled, noble girl going through a goddamn life crisis, and you stood by her when you didn't have to. You stood by her when your captain died, when your ship was wrecked, when she told you there was a man in her head that only she could see and talk to.
You hear in the distance, "Hey!"
And you see she she starts blushing, and she says, you stood by her when she was drunk and kissed you in a bar because she kind of just shrugs really big and says she'd never known love or freedom, and she was scared, but you held her hand and told her it would be all right, and she believed you. Not because they were pretty words from a pretty girl, but because you believed them. You meant them. And I think it was then that I first realized that for the first time, I wanted love and freedom and friendship. I wanted a life, I wanted to live. And throughout our journey, you have stayed by my side, and as you've continued to do so, I've realized that I want those things for you. I want you to live your life how you want. I want you to have those things because you deserve them. There is no one else like you, Cassandra. There will never be anyone else.
You're a little bit muffled right now.
There will never be anyone else for me. Not like you. I want you to be happy and live how you want. Because I think all this time, all I've ever wanted was you. And she takes the rings out of her pocket. And she kind of just like holds them up to her, and she kind of looks down, like kind of scared to meet Cassandra's gaze. And she says, it doesn't have to be a wedding. It doesn't have to be anything at all if that's what you want. I can't imagine my life without you in it. And I don't want to. And she's just kind of trying not to cry.
You hold this ring out, and it's like the most picturesque scene you can imagine. You two are both standing near the bow, with the sun just now creeping over the horizon, and in true Chaos Crusaders fashion, the sky fissure just above that looming a sense of doom upon this otherwise beautiful scene. And Cassandra has gone from like eyes wide to like her eyes are bulging out of her head. And like I think she tries to say something at first, but like she's a little too choked up and like words fail her. And then she says, yes. And I think stutters over that a few times. Before she composes herself, she literally does the like hand thing. And she takes your hands in her hands, the hands that are holding this ring. And she says, Lise, from the moment I've met eyes with you, I couldn't so from the moment I met you, I couldn't take my eyes off you. And my life has not known peace since, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. Before I met you, my life was about survival. I was making ends meet. I was working any job I could get my hands on, and I was drifting from place to place, just trying to make a place for myself in this world. And since I've known you, I've known the greatest happiness, the greatest fear, the greatest excitement, and the greatest angers. I feel like my life has become so much more vivid and magical since I met you. And it's hard to really put it all into words, but I've never been happier. And I feel the same way.
She's like fully crying. Like, trying to play it off like she's not. So like she's like and there's like tears.
I think she does that thing where she puts the palm of her hand on your cheek and wipes away the tear with her thumb.
Yeah, kiss her.
You two kiss in this picturesque scene. And do you have
the ring.
Okay.
I put the ring on her finger.
You put the ring on her finger, and she holds out her hand for you to present her with yours. And she slides the finger onto your or the ring onto your finger. And she kisses you again, and she says, "But to be clear, we are gonna have a kick-ass wedding."
She's like, "Oh yeah, for sure, yeah." I haven't thought of any kind of like I haven't thought of how or where or when, but somewhere and somehow and sometime.
And she pulls you forward and hugs you with tears in her eyes.
Yeah, I think they just kind of stay in this moment until they get to the Dreadnought.
I think that could be sort of a we kind of fade out that scene. And before you know it, it's been like an hour, and you guys are on the deck of the Shifting Tempest, and Artemis is tossing a rope ladder over the edge of the Shifting Tempest.
Oh, before we meet with them, can I know what the hell happened to my ship that it's flying now?
You approach Merlin and ask him to explain it to you one more time in terms that you can understand.
Man, you gotta just explain it to me like I'm 5, okay? I really just because I still don't understand.
And he says, "Well, the trees in Azure, as I said before, are infused with an incredible amount of magic. They came from the elven forests of old. So they're some of the purest form of magic that this realm has ever known."
Okay. Magic trees.
If I had if I had to extrapolate from that, my assumption would be that the wood, the planks of the Fortune Empress were constructed using that very same wood, giving it its sort of pale blue visage.
Right. But the Fortune Empress couldn't fly.
The Fortune Empress also wasn't alive.
Fair.
And he pulls out a knife from his chair, and he says, "Now, if you want me to cut off a board from your ship, I can certainly run those tests I told you about, but I don't think your ship would be happy about it."
The knife away, old man. You're not cutting my ship.
He laughs and tosses the blade in the air and grabs it and puts it back into his chair, and he says, "So, for lack of a better explanation, we'll just have to say magic."
All right. You also could have just shrugged and said magic. And, I think I would have accepted that answer.
He laughs and says, "That's right, magic. So take my original explanation," in chuckles, and he snaps his fingers and disappears from the deck of your ship to reappear onto the Dreadnought.
Oh, he's gone now. Goodbye. Okay, are we going down to the Dreadnought too, or they're taking him somewhere else?
I mean, there's certainly no reason you can't come visit for just a moment.
Yeah. Are we in the air still?
Yes,
or
you're like, like 50 to 100 feet off the water.
I go, "Cassandra, watch this!" And I jump off the edge. Cause with a good free fall, cause my cloak has slow fall on it. So I just slowly fall onto the Dreadnought.
To be clear, it doesn't make you fall super slow. It's 10 feet per second still.
Well, no.
So, no.
Hold
You
on.
won't take damage. But I'm going to ask for a dexterity save to see if you can land gracefully, because that is still a quick speed to fall at.
Slow fall, you descend 60 feet per round and take no damage from
a round
falling.
is 6 seconds. Divide that by 6, that's 10 feet per second.
Okay.
You're
What did
falling
you
10
ask
feet per
for?
second. Give me a dexterity save to see if you land gracefully.
She's fully arms and legs out like she's skydiving.
As you do this, by the way, Cassandra goes, "Lace!" and runs forward to like the banister of the ship, and her stomach like hits it, and she reaches out a hand to catch you, but just misses you.
Oh no, it's bad. 7.
So this is your first
Sprain
time.
my ankle.
This is your first time using the cloak of slow falling, so you don't take any fall damage. You're not falling fast enough for that. However, it is faster than you were expecting to fall, and so I think you maybe as you jump out, you're like, "Ha ha!" and then you realize how quickly you're falling, and you start flailing your arms. As you reach the deck of the ship, you fall face first, ass in the air, and your cloak slowly falls down on top of you like a parachute. You look up and you see a large boot and a peg leg in front of you.
Hello, father. Do you like my new cloak?
He has his face in his hand and he says,
If there's one thing DeForests can do, it's make an entrance.
I get up and I look back up Cassandra and just give her 2 thumbs up.
and you see her lower her hand and like sigh in relief and glare at you.
I love you. Dad, guess what?
She begins descending down the rope ladder as well.
Dad, guess what?
He says, does it have to do with your new outfit?
Well, that too. First of all, yes. I start voguing again.
He's like, come on, give us a twirl.
Yeah, I twirl.
He says, it looks incredible.
I know, it's awesome. And also, did you notice that I fell slowly from the sky? Yeah.
He says,
cool.
You did. You fell slowly and ungracefully.
And also, watch this. And I touch his shoulder, and I memorize his outfit, so I just am suddenly wearing his outfit.
Your outfit changes to match him, and he says, that feature I'm a little more weirded out by.
She says, I am you now.
I'm gonna, by the way, make sure you're keeping note of the outfits that you have memorized, because those are memorized permanently. So you can, for example, tomorrow, use that same ability to reapply his disguise.
Okay, I can do that.
He says, well, it looks like the little guy outdid himself yet again.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. What was the name of that? What's the name of the lady I keep impersonating? Oh, Crimella.
Crimella demeanor.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to write all those down. Yeah, it's fucking sick. Also, Cassandra got some new pistos. And Helga got a new friendship hammer. Oh yeah, and I got engaged.
He looks over his shoulders and he says, so what's the deal? Don't you got something for me?
Oh, Artemis.
He extends his arms out for a hug.
Who, Artemis?
No,
Oh.
your dad.
Oh, I don't know. My brain was like, I just told him about all these cool things, and my dad also wants something from Artemis, which would be very funny. But yeah, no, I give him. I jump into the air and slow fall into his arms.
He does his traditional hug you and then spin you through the air once before putting you back down.
Oh
he
my
says,
god.
He says, it's been a minute since I saw you in person.
Yeah, it's been a while. Do we know if I fully burned down South Azure, or do we know what the aftermath of that looks like?
He says, right, you're probably wanting an update on everything.
Yes, please.
He leads you back to his captain's quarters to talk you through everything. And he's like, first things first, Chilvain is still locked up in the brig down there, and we're keeping him in there indefinitely.
I have a remedy for that, actually, but it can wait.
Merlin is actually has come in with you guys, and he says, still staked, still petrified, but we still don't really have a means of destroying him. Merlin chimes in.
Oh, I was gonna say I figured it out, but if you have something.
I think you figured it out because Merlin told you. Merlin, if it's what we discussed, Merlin says, yes. So, August, we don't necessarily have to, lay him down in his place of rest and burn it like we discussed before. There is technically another way to destroy a vampire like him. And August says, oh, good news. We don't have to go find his coffin or whatever. All right, spill it. What is it? And he says, well, it's about quite as difficult. It's just another option. If you notice, last time we looked at him, he has bite marks. That means there's a master vampire, and it wasn't him.
Oh, my solution is quicker and possibly easier.
Okay. And he says, so we could kill the master vampire, and in doing so, destroy any vampires he's turned.
I think that we should do that still, but I think that I know how to kill Reginald just alone.
And Merlin says, oh, I'm all ears.
So, you're a wizard. You know about magic. Maybe you know a little spell called Disintegrate.
He says, I am familiar, yes.
The creature or object is disintegrated. Sorry, I think Zipper was just pushing on my door and it like made a really scary noise. I was like, what's happening? No, but disintegrate, if it leaves the target with 0 hit points, it disperses into dust and cannot be revived by any means other than a true resurrection or a wish spell.
And he says, unfortunately, true resurrection does happen when they are placed back into their place of rest.
Right.
So
what I'm saying is
unfortunately,
I
though
can
it would
turn
turn
him
into
to
dust, he can still recover if that dust is placed back into his coffin.
Okay, but if we just scatter the dust, you can't get all of the pieces of the dust. Like, it's dust. Just vacuum it up and toss it in the ocean or something. You can't get, if you throw dust into the ocean, it just becomes with the water. You can't gather that back up.
Merlin says, let me be clear, Lise, I absolutely admire the determination and the clever thinking, but you do have to keep in mind our enemies also possess magic.
You can't, how are you going to use true resurrection on dust?
He says, you place the dust in his place of rest.
But if I scatter the dust, then it's
would
gone. But it's no. If you throw it like in the ocean, or if you're flying through the sky and I dump it out, like no one can get that. It's gonna scatter into the wind.
He says, Lise, remember what I told you just earlier about magic being the explanation?
But what fucking spell is gonna give you all of the dust particles? What do you mean?
He says, Lise, are you familiar with just how many summon spells there are?
But the
And
dust.
at this point, he would not be a living thing, and in fact, it would be easier to summon him because he would be an inanimate object.
God damn it!
If anything, you're making it easier for your enemies to get a hold of him.
She's like, well, I thought it was a good idea.
He says, it was a pretty good idea.
Fine. I guess we'll just have to go kill the other vampire or whatever it was that you said. She's like, she crosses her arms and is like...
He says, I mean, if you want to fight Chilvain again, be my guest. Try this out.
That was the whole reason I wanted to disintegrate him.
And August says, I think I'd prefer to stick with the tried and true methods.
Fine. Two old men ignoring the really cool plan that their queer daughter came up with. It just seems like a little bit homophobic to me, if you ask
me. Merlin says, yeah, I guess we're canceled, August. I don't know if there's anything we can do about this.
Yeah, damn. Should really think about it next time you decide to tell me no.
And your dad says, watch it, you little lady, or you're gonna be grounded.
You can't ground me. I am 23.
He holds up his fingers and says 10, 9,
She flips him off.
8.
What are you counting down to?
he says to drop it. Seven, 6. And both him and Merlin chuckle.
I hate having two dads. This sucks.
He says, anyway, a few other things to update you on. It turns out, the Orin Navy is pulling out of Frontier Harbor.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Not for you. It's not called Frontier Harbor. It's called No Man's Land.
And he says, I think for all intents and purposes, it is once again No Man's Land.
Yeah.
It's a little different than you remember it, though. If you ever pay another visit, you're going to find a lot of large structures there that weren't there before.
Did they colonize it? Those bitches.
And he says, but yeah, the repeated guerrilla attacks and raids that pirates were conducting on the coast just made it inefficient to hang on to. Their soldiers have been pulling out all afternoon.
Do we know what's there? Like, is it stuff that we should get?
At this point, I don't know that I would even try. The pirates have been taking anything that isn't bolted down.
Do you know who I am? She leans forward and she says, did you forget who you were talking to?
He says, if you think you can find something that hasn't been picked clean, be my guest.
Oh, okay. You just think that there's nothing left. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought that you were I believe that I thought that you were implying that it was the pirates that would be an issue. And I was like, I'm sorry, do you fucking know who I am?
Well, they probably would also be an issue. I'm sure they'll fight you for anything that is left.
Yeah, they can try, but I just pat Lockjaw's skull on my shoulder.
It makes a hollow thud.
Yeah.
Anyway. And he runs his hand through his hair and he says, and unfortunately, no one's heard more about the Sky Fissure. I've had Lexi asking all of her contacts these past few weeks, and everyone gives conflicting stories because no one was watching for it, so those who did see it aren't exactly certain which direction it came from. All we can really pin down is it was somewhere in the Orin Empire.
Right. Have we heard anything from the rebels in Orin?
He says, not particularly. I know you said there was a resistance, but whatever resistance there is, it's incredibly small. They seem to just occasionally hit like supply depots and conduct general guerrilla raids, but as you might imagine, because it's so difficult for, the Orin Empire to find them, it's equally difficult for us.
Right. I just think that, if we could get in contact with them, and possibly supply them with, whatever they need, I think that they could be an asset as they are in the Empire itself.
He says, and I agree. Actually, while we're on this topic of correspondence, and he reaches for that portable mailbox that Artemis had set up for them. And chat, we're going to run yet another poll. So, there is a letter. But is it for Helga or for Lise? Vote 1 in chat for Helga, 2 in chat for Lise. Who has a letter in the box for them?
Helga do be getting letters from Elizabeth.
And he I think at this point Cassandra and Helga are in the cabin now too. And you all take turns placing your hand on the door of the box and then opening it to retrieve your personal mail.
Mm.
And Cassandra is sorting through like a pile of fan mail again for the Chaos Crusaders, and she's like casually like autographing things as
Does
you guys
Lise-
take your turns.
Does Lise like open? She goes fire in the hole and like touches the mailbox and opens it, and all of her fan mail just shoots out.
Yes, it shoots against the wall. There's a bunch of mail specifically for the Sea Banshee and just general fan mail. I don't want Ben to choose for us. I'm not going to choose for you. 1-1 Helga. All right. And when Helga opens her mailbox, there is more fan mail yet again. But one letter sticks out in particular. It is a letter wrapped in a thin red ribbon and smells of flowers.
I wiggle my eyebrows at Helga.
And I'm going to send you the contents of the letter as you slide, as Helga slides the ribbon off and opens the soft parchment, and hands it to you to read it. She has actually gotten pretty good at reading, and she reads along with you as you're reading, but you can obviously do it much faster than she can.
Okay. Dearest Helga, I do not have much time to write to you, for I am in the midst of packing my belongings and shipping out. Don't worry though, dear, I'm completely safe. Some old friends of mine are handling the details. It's just that with the pillar of light from the Oran Empire breaking the sky open and the horrid rumors I've heard about the voidite mine to the south, I feel it just isn't safe here. I will write to you once I'm settled in New Oran, though I will likely continue south to Santaria or Brocara. Sanctaria. You wrote Santaria.
Oh, whoops. Sanctaria.
P.S. It is so good to hear your peonies are doing so well. Once they're fully grown, do send me one pressed. How quaint it would be if we both had matching gifts from each other. P.P.S. I've included some enchanted plant food you can sprinkle in your pots that will help flowers flourish even in low light. It's a wonder that herbalists can do this these days. Eagerly awaiting your response, Elizabeth. Aww.
And Helga takes that like little pouch of plant food, and like she like holds it as if she's holding the fucking holy grail in her hands right now, and she says,
Helga will make flowers even stronger.
Yeah, hell yeah. Why don't you when we get back to the ship, we'll have to get one of your flowers so we can press it in your next letter.
She actually included 2 little pressing glasses inside of her letter as well.
Nice.
And Helga like grabs your shoulders and shakes you and says,
Lise, teach Helga press flower.
It's exactly what it sounds like, but I'll make sure that we do it delicately.
I do not want to hurt flower.
Okay, well, sure. We can do that in a bit once we get back to the ship.
as you're saying that, I think August, at midway through you reading that letter out loud, he like wasn't really paying attention, but a certain word made him perk up, and he squinted a little bit, and he said, "Could you repeat that part midway through? Something about the Voidite mines?"
Right. I think I was going to mention that as well. It's just that with the pillar of light from the Oran Empire breaking the sky open, and the horrid rumors I've heard about the Voidite mine to the south, I feel that it just isn't safe here. Voidite mine. In the south?
And he calls out, "Hey, Lexi!" And Lexi enters the cabin, says, "Oi, top of the morning, governor! Oh, Lise DeForest!"
Lexi.
She extends her arms to hug you.
I give her a hug.
She says, "What's all this then?" And August says, Can you bring me that hand mirror really quick? I gotta run something by Artemis. Or not Artemis, Oliver.
Yeah, I was gonna say Artemis is like right upstairs. He will be more than happy to come down here. Actually, no, he's sleeping. Leave him alone.
Artemis is still on your ship, and he is still passed out in his little workshop.
Yeah, he's sweeping.
He's temporarily just set up on your ship. Lexi quickly dashes out and comes back in with the hand mirror. He takes the hand mirror and looks into it. And you can actually see in the reflection that Oliver is like asleep on their desk, but like their arm is like resting on the hand mirror. August says, "Good morning, sleepyhead!" And you can't hear it, but you see chaos erupt on the other end of the hand mirror.
Lise pops in right in front of him and just goes, "Good morning, sunshine. The earth says hello."
If you touch your hand to the edge of the mirror, you can also hear, and it like suddenly the noise of like things crashing in the room and papers flying fills your ears. And you hear Oliver say, "What? I'm awake. I rested my eyes for a second. What's up?"
Yeah, that's what I call resting my eyes and your whole head and body on the table.
August says, "Real quick, I just want to run something by you, and then you can get back to sleep. Didn't you say there was some rumor that you heard about the Voidite mines?" And Oliver says, "Oh yeah. At the time, I didn't really think it was worth investigating, but yeah, for some reason, production was shut down on the Voidite mine for some reason. A lot of the miners left very suddenly."
Well, that's suspicious.
And Oliver says, "Actually, hang on a moment." And they sort through their papers, and they you hear them muttering different dates and times to themselves, and they say, "Oh my god, that corresponds perfectly with when the crack appeared in the sky."
Oh. Interesting. Do you think... what would that mean? That the mine has something to do with the fissure?
Oliver says, "It is concerning timing. And there's been rumors that the mines became incredibly dangerous, and that there were workplace accidents. Again, I mean, Orin's not exactly known for their safety precautions, so I didn't really think much of it, but it is weird that it coincided perfectly."
What do you mean it became dangerous? Do you mean that, the mine itself, the structural, integrity is compromised in some way? Or something else was making it dangerous?
They say, well, they're all rumors, so we don't really have specifics, and we haven't really dug into it, but it sounded like people were pretty shaken up who came from there.
So I'm going to guess not the structural integrity. Great. There's going to be some awful mine creature in there, isn't there? Cassandra just looks dead and looks to Cassandra, and you just see nothing behind her eyes. At the thought of having to go fight a scary mine creature.
I assume you mean Lise looks at Cassandra. You
What
said
did I say?
Cassandra looks at Cassandra.
Oh, Lise looks at Cassandra, yeah.
Cassandra looks at herself in the mirror.
Looks at herself in the mirror.
She stares into the camera.
Yeah.
Cassandra says, "Yeah, sounds about par for the course for us."
God damn it. All right, fine. Fine. I'll go fight the scary mind monster if that's what you guys want. Fine. Where is it? Where is it? I'm just gonna go to my death, apparently, in this creepy voidite mine. God damn it. God damn it.
And Merlin then says, "Now I'm just thinking out loud here, so feel free to stop me at any point. The coincidence is strange, right? That it lines up perfectly with the crack in the sky. What's one other coincidence that lined up perfectly with that?
Me?
Your explosion.
Right.
Lise, I have a feeling this is tied to your magic. I think we might find another feather here."
Oh. I was gonna say, no shit, Sherlock. But I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Lise gets all like uppity with him for a second, and I think he realizes that she's doing that, and so he catches her and says, "I think we're gonna find a feather there," to like explain it in more direct terms, and like she has the same realization wash over her face, and she says, "Good point."
Oh. Yeah. I was gonna figure that out. I knew that, actually. Before you even said it, that's what I knew. So anyway, yeah, where's this mine?
And August says, "Oh, I don't know how comfortable I feel sending you after another feather."
I mean, who else are you gonna send? No one else can touch them.
He looks at Merlin, and Merlin says, "We do need to get to the New Orin port, so unfortunately I don't think we can accompany her."
Yeah, I probably gotta make a pit stop and go talk to Helia, because, you know, the magic comes from her, right? It just seems logical.
And Oliver chimes in and says, "Actually, hang on. I'm checking troop movement patterns. It sounds like they sent a wizard to those mines just yesterday, actually."
They sent a wizard there?
Yes, an Orin conscripted wizard. So they have the royal wizard portion of the army. They are all magic users who don't go missing, are forcibly conscripted into service.
So we can free this wizard and find out what's in the cave.
I think at any rate, you're going to want to get there before that wizard.
God, fine. All right. I guess talking to Helia can wait.
They say, "The only reason I say that is the alternative is there's a possibility that Orin could get their hands on this feather."
Yeah, that's not good. I don't want them to have it. And Helia is already a little baby bird, and I can't imagine what she's going to turn into when I give her another one. And that is very exciting to think about. An even bigger baby bird?
And August actually lowers the mirror a little bit and looks at you again and says, "Just promise me you'll be careful, because news out of Orin isn't good. People there don't have the greatest vision of the Chaos Crusaders after, you know."
Yeah, I know. It haunts me every day. All right? I'm aware.
He says, "The Emperor has been going full on with that story. They're all labeling you all a terrorist, or a terrorist group, rather."
I mean, to them, maybe, but not to the Orin people. It's just that the government sucks.
He says, "And I agree.
But unfortunately, that's how propaganda works.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go in discreet, like always, and see
He
what we
says-
can find.
Make sure the Tempest stays above the clouds.
No, I'm gonna drive my ship right into that mine. You hear that?
Oliver says, yeah, that's no exaggeration. The propaganda's been startlingly effective.
Frustrating, but I suppose there's not much that we can do about it right now. But I think focusing on the war is the bigger thing right now. We can deal with what the people think later.
I
have a question.
Go ahead.
Who rules Orin when the Emperor is dead? What happens to Orin when this is over?
Oliver speaks up and says, it's hard to say for sure because during wartime, normally then the command would fall to the Admiral, but for obvious reasons that won't happen now. My guess would be probably the Templars.
Okay, that's like worst case scenario.
Yeah.
It becomes a full, I guess it already kind of is a full military state, but like,
Well,
that's not
the
good.
Admiral's dead and they need a commanding officer to assume control, and
Oh,
I think Nyx
God.
Lumen is the closest thing to that.
Not that bitch. God, I don't know that she's worse than the Emperor, but she's pretty bad. We can't have her ruling. I feel like we need to put more thought into this, because it's like, okay, yeah, we gotta give her to the Skyfisher, we gotta kill the Emperor. But then if Nyx Lumen takes over, she's gonna be just as bad. and then we're back where we started.
Oliver says, yeah, I've been working through the details of everything. It's tough because the death of the Orin Admiral has kind of thrown a wrench in a lot of things. I still don't have a good solution just yet.
What happens if Nyx Lumen dies?
Things get muddier and muddier the further down we go. I'll have to get back to you on that.
The Emperor doesn't have any living relatives to take the throne?
To my knowledge, no. He hasn't sired any children.
Well, there's definitely something weird about him. I feel like children ain't his thing. Maybe eating children to live forever. That's probably how he's lived so long. He's sacrificing children or something. Don't put it past him.
Merlin says, I truly hate to cut all this short, but we
Sorry.
are short on
Cut-
time.
I'm sorry I got sidetracked, okay? I was thinking about the future of an empire, Merlin. All right.
And August says, all right, back to sleep, Oliver. And Oliver says, I wasn't sleeping, I was just resting my... And you don't hear the rest as he places the mirror in his drawer and closes it.
They really need to sleep. They're not going to get anything done if they don't take a nap. Gods no, I can't get anything done if I don't take a nap.
Yeah, the one person on the crew who always gets her beauty sleep is Lise.
Yeah. Well, not recently, but...
August says, so, Artemis is on your ship for the foreseeable future, yeah?
I believe so, yeah. Unless he decides he really doesn't want to be there anymore. Or he gets tired of me accidentally breaking everything in his workshop.
He says, all right, we're sending Zachary up with you because
Oh, please.
he's been worried sick about him.
Oh, yeah. Will you send the... Please. Artemis needs someone to manage him, and God, it can't be me. Let his husband do it.
He says he's probably already aboard your ship, knowing him.
I'm honestly not even surprised. I'm sure that was the first thing he did.
Yeah, he looked like he was carrying a huge luggage and a pile of blankets, so.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I also saw some dish soap in there.
Oh, you know what? I don't know when the last time Artemis took a shower was, so he might just soap that man up and dunk him in the ocean.
Dish soap traditionally used to remove grease.
Yeah.
And he said he claps his hands together. He says, "Well, I guess we do got business to attend to."
Okay, well, be safe. I'm gonna go get lost in a mine and fight a wizard or something.
He says, "Now don't stay in that mine too long. You hear me?"
Well, it's not really my choice now, is it? But
He says, "Things get bad, you pull out."
I mean, I'll try.
And he hugs you again.
Yeah. I feel like I tug on his beard. I'm like, Shiv, you need to trim, old man.
Is there anything else you want to discuss or take care of while on the Dreadnought?
Oh, I feel like when we got back on the ship, after everything happened, I feel like Lise did that thing where it's like she walked past Flint and kind of without stopping just pressed the flintlock back into his hand.
Yeah, you step out of the captain's quarters and Flint is there now, and you press that flintlock into his chest, and he grabs it and he says, "Much obliged."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what she says, but I think she just keeps going. Just like he knows he knows what that gun was for.
He tips his hat to you.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I guess I gather up everybody back on our ship and I'm like, all right, crew meeting. We're going to a scary mine with a wizard.
You communicate the specifics of everything with the speed at which the shifting tempest can move now, flying through the air. It actually you'll be there by this evening if you set out now.
All right, everybody eat something and take a nap because we're gonna be there.
We will count this as your pauldron will be recharged, and all like single day recharges will be back.
Okay. So
just because they were, I'm bending the rules there a little bit because it was used for demonstration.
Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna say you used it and now it's gone.
And after you discuss this with everyone, you walk back onto the deck of the ship, and you see Bedlam standing on the bow.
Has he been weird? Has he been weird these last 3 weeks still?
He actually hasn't said a whole lot. But this is actually one of the first times you've seen him in a few days. And he says, "Lise, lovely you're here."
Oh my god. Okay. What is it?
Oh, I'm positively bursting with joy. And he bursts and then regathers into himself again.
Gross. Oh god. Why are you bursting? Is the Skyfisher going to explode and kill us all now and you're so happy about that or what?
He says, "No, because we're going to go have fun again. It's been so boring watching you be all cooped up and quarantining."
Oh, you're excited about the wizard. Okay, I understand.
Oh, I'm so excited, Lise. It's been so long since we had an adventure.
I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks.
That's so long!
Okay, well, you know that people go years without doing anything of this sort.
he leans back up against the banister and stares up into the sky, and he kind of does that thing where like one leg is forward and like the tip of his boot is tapping against the floorboards behind that foot. And he stares up at the sky fissure and he says, "Oh, isn't it beautiful, Lise?"
No, it's bad.
Oh, come now, Lise. You might think it's scary, but you can't say it's not pretty.
Do you know what it is?
I'll tell you one thing, dear. That wizard friend of yours was right.
And he stands up straight, and turns around, and his eyes are very wide, and he like walks closer to you. And he stops like inches from your face, a crazed look in his eyes, and he says,
That's not a crack in the sky.
Okay.
and he says,
What
"Of
is
course
it?
it's not a crack in the sky. You can't crack the sky, Lise. What a foolish thing to say. What, the sky is made of air. You can't crack air, Lise. Believe me, I've tried quite a few times."
Okay, well, if it's not a crack in the sky, then what is it a crack in?
He says, "In
Uh-huh.
fact, watch this!" And he says, "Boys!" And Vile and Smile come out. Smile wheels in a massive, cartoonishly massive cannon. And Vile is carrying a gigantic bomb above his head and loads it into the cannon. He's like, "Pull!" And boom, they fire that cannon. And the shot flies into the sky. So far, like it's really, really tiny, and then suddenly you see like a massive explosion that like stretches like half the length of the sky, and then nothing is in its place. And he says, "See, the biggest explosion couldn't crack air, Lise."
Okay. So what is it a crack in?
And he turns back around, that crazed look in his eye again, and he says,
Something much more beautiful. That, Lise, is a crack in reality itself.
"Reality is broken, Lise, and it's only going to get more broken." At this point, he has stopped maintaining eye contact with you. His hands are tugging at his hair, pulling out chunks of hair, and he's just cackling maniacally.
Maybe back up a little bit if you're gonna start talking crazy nonsense into my face.
He says, Isn't this exciting, Lise?
No,
I mean-
what do you mean a crack in reality?
That's the beauty of it. I don't know. No one has ever experienced this. Lise, I have been around for so long. In fact, I don't remember when I was created. And yet, even I have never seen reality get broken.
Well, there's a first time for everything, I suppose.
I was alive during the time of dragons, Lise. I was alive before that, and I've never heard of this. Lise, I don't think anyone that you've ever met or ever will meet has any idea what's going on.
Well, somebody did this, so somebody's got to know what's going on. This didn't just happen.
Perhaps. I suppose that's a possibility. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
I guess so. Listen, I appreciate. Hey, listen. Terran reality, it was a speculation, but if you're saying that's what it really is, great. Good. Finally, for once you've told me something useful. So thank you, Bedlam. But now,
he takes a
excuse
step
me,
back.
I have to go fight a wizard in a mine.
hand on his chest, he very offended. He says,
Lise, I don't lie to you. I don't think I've ever lied to you, have I?
I never said you lied. I just said you've never told me anything useful.
It's always been my hope to be useful to my best friend.
All right. Well, I have to go. Did you hear what I said about the wizard and the mine? I've got to go.
and he says,
Before you go, Lise, I have one little clarification I want to give you, in the spirit of honesty and friendship and all that.
Okay.
Lise, I know what you might be thinking. And no, I don't think this crack has anything to do with me.
Okay. So if it's not, you're saying it's not the Inquisition. So it's likely, I mean, it happened in the Oran Empire, so I was already kind of thinking it was the Emperor, or whatever the fuck he's doing. Which makes me worried it's something to do with, like, I don't really know. Not really sure, actually.
Says, I don't know what it has to do with it. That's the beauty of it, Lise. We have no idea. Neither you or I know what hides behind the crack in the veil. Isn't
Yeah.
that so exciting?
Nope.
Isn't that terrifying?
I'm glad you've quelled my fears of looking up and seeing your fucking face in that thing. So I guess there's that, but no, I don't think exciting is the word I would use.
and that's when he turns from you. Not really turns. Turns isn't the right word. It's almost like he looks through you, past you,
Okay.
at someone else that isn't there. It's
Me?
almost like he's looking at a group of people
Okay.
who aren't really there.
Right. Well,
And he
no,
says,
we're really here. He's the one who's not really there.
and he says,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, distinguished guests, I think the show is going to begin soon. The most exciting show any of us have ever experienced.
All right.
and then he blinks and suddenly he seems to be looking at you again. And he says,
Isn't that exciting, Lise? How are you not excited about this? We could be experiencing the most wonderful pleasures that mankind has ever experienced, or perhaps we are going to die terrible deaths that we can't even comprehend.
Why did you look at me and say, ladies and gentlemen? I'm
what are you
only
talking
one
about?
person. I'm only one person.
He's like, I'm talking to the people, of course.
Okay, all right.
You know,
and he holds his hands out to just the world in general.
the people.
Okay, well, you didn't have to look directly at me and say it. You know it was weird.
Says, I wasn't looking at you, Lise. I was looking at the people.
Okay, well, do it away from me next time. Okay. Anyway.
And he struts back over happily to the bow of the ship and leans against the banisters again. And he says,
Oh, what might it be? Certain death? Certain insanity? Ooh, that would be exciting. I've not experienced an insanity worse than my own before. I wonder what that would be like. Ooh, perhaps it'll be kitties and puppies and rainbows. I don't know what lies on the other side, Lise.
You know what? I'm gonna hold out for the kitties and puppies and rainbows.
and he turns around and looks at you and says,
You know what? That would be pretty good.
That'd be the best option, I think. I think that would be the best outcome.
he then has Smile roll the big cannon back out And he says,
Well, I'm going to attempt to get really close to the crack again, if you don't mind me.
You do whatever the goddamn hell you want.
Maybe
Again,
this time
for the third
Go ahead.
time, I have to go fight a wizard in a cave.
Because maybe I'll get at least an inch closer this time.
and he climbs
have-
into the cannon and boom, flies into the distance. And there's a Smash Brothers style ding as he disappears into the horizon.
Okay. While we're on our way to the mine, I think I pop on the mirror really quick and be like, by the way, Bedlam told me it was a crack in reality, so I don't know that we're going to be able to get any closer to it.
Yeah. I think as you guys are sailing closer and closer, it's getting slowly more and more into the evening. You actually do connect again with Oliver and relay that to them. And they say, what does that mean, though?
Well, I think that it's I don't know. But if we're unable to get closer to it, I don't know that it's we can see it, but it might not really be something that we can reach because it's magic and also reality. So it's like it's not far away. It's like I don't know that we're going to be able to reach it. Do you know what I'm saying?
They say, but in that case, is the world about to end?
Well, do you remember when I told you the prophecy? And I said it was like apocalyptic, and it doesn't say anything about this, but
it looks like you just added like 500 pounds to the incredible weight they were already carrying on their back. And they say, all right, I'll relay this to Merlin and see if he has any suggestions of what we can look into next.
yeah, sorry. I just thought you should know. Like, maybe stop. Like, I think that it's possibly a waste of time to keep trying to get close to it. Do you know what I mean?
Oliver nods, and they say, also, I did track down a bit more information about these Voidite mines, and
Good.
if I'm being honest with you, I feel a little ashamed I didn't catch this sooner. It's the one mine where Voidite comes from. Voidite can't be found anywhere else in the world.
Oh.
It only naturally occurs in these mines, and suddenly production has stopped and the miners have left. That should have risen more red flags for me. I'm not sure how I missed it.
That is quite strange. But don't beat yourself up about it, Oliver. It's much has been happening, and you are simply one person.
They say, but yes, I did confirm a wizard was sent there. It seems like Orin really wants to get production started back up again, but no matter how many times they've tried to rehire miners, no one is willing to go there.
So the wizard is supposed to fix whatever the problem is?
I think that's the plan. And all I've learned from sorting through all these rumors is that everyone was so horrified by what they saw, none of them were willing to discuss it. They weren't even willing to describe or even vaguely detail what happened. They just said
Oliver.
horror.
Oliver, be honest with me. Do you think it's a cave bunny?
They say, what? Those aren't real.
Are you serious?
They say,
Wait a minute.
I don't
No,
think
no, no.
they're
Hold
real, are they?
Well, wait, but no. But Crimella, her
Well,
whole thing was
Yes,
that
but
she.
no one really knows where she got the venom from. I mean, I just assumed it was a fairy tale.
No, they're real, and I'm gonna get eaten by one. I know it. She pounds on her chest. She says, "I know it. I know it in here."
Oliver says, I mean, if that's what you think it is, maybe we shouldn't send you there.
No, I'm already. It's like it's too late now. I'm gonna go see what it is. I might just come out more traumatized than I already am. So I guess just be prepared for that.
And Oliver says, all right, well, when you know what it is, I'd be fascinated to know.
I guess even if
hopefully
it is,
you don't get
I guess-
too terrified to describe it.
I guess if it is a cave bunny, it could be. I wouldn't know because nobody knows what they look like other than they're terrifying. So even if it's something that I don't know what it is and it's terrifying, I don't know that that's a cave bunny. So anyway, I'll let you know if I come out of this alive.
Oliver says, I wish I could give you more information, but details are all just rumors at this point.
Do we need voidite for anything? Should I fill up my pockets with some while we're there?
I mean, you would have to mine it yourself.
Do I have any spells that help me with mining? I feel like Cassandra has like earthquake or something, right? Yeah, just cast earthquake in a mine.
Yeah, that'll end well. Yeah, no, do it. That sounds cool, actually. That sounds cool and fun.
Yeah, it sounds cool and fun. Absolutely. I think I'm going to do
I think
that.
you guys will have a good time if you cast earthquake in a mine shaft.
I agree. I think that nothing bad could happen at all. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that. But yeah, I'll just maybe stay near the mirror, okay? In case this mine goes bad.
Oliver says, I don't think that I really have much of a choice. I'm gonna be glued to my desk for the next few days.
That's fair. At least try to eat something, friend, and nap when you can.
And Oliver says, I speaking of which, I better get back to work. I got a lot of documents to sort through.
When was the last time you ate something?
Probably the last time that, I don't remember, actually.
Yeah, okay, so you're gonna go get some food, and then you're gonna go back to work.
I mean, Darren and Penelope have been pretty good about bringing things to me. It'll be all right.
You're lucky that we are apart. For I would whump you if you were here.
And you look out the window of your cabin, and you do see that between the clouds, occasionally you can see little specks of land. You are above land at this point and making your way toward the mine.
Okay, I gotta go. The mine's here. Okay, bye.
The mine's here.
The mine's here. Not I'm at the mine. The mine's here.
Okay. Yeah, you end that discussion with Oliver and walk to the deck of the ship, and sure enough, you look down and you are seeing these like black craggy mountains below you that are kind of cutting through the clouds occasionally.
This place looks familiar.
Cassandra walks up to meet you and she says, looks like we're just about here. Want to head down?
She thinks about jumping over the edge again, but she's like, yeah, no. She's like, yes, let's. All right, everybody, round up. Let's go.
You guys descend from the clouds to this tiny mining town that is like completely deserted. And there is there's like work equipment left everywhere that is just like, it looks like it was dropped and people ran.
Oh God. At least like looks around, puts her hands on her hips, and she's like, well, this looks terrifying.
You actually notice there is one person here. They look kind of unassuming. It's this like old man with the long, bushy, like wiry beard, kind of like coated in a little bit of grime, wearing like a stovepipe hat, and has like one boot on and one boot off, kind of wearing some overalls, and kind of picking through the stuff that was left behind here. He has a little wagon in tow behind him.
Hey, you! Hey! Hey, you!
Oh, good morning.
Who are you?
Well, nice to meet you, ma'am. My name's Otis McTotus. Otis McTotus.
And he takes off that stovepipe hat and bows. And underneath that stovepipe hat, you see a very large toad. And he says,
And this here's Bloatus. Not to be confused with Floatus. That's his brother. He drowned.
It's nice to meet you, Bloatus. She holds out a finger to shake the hand of the little frog.
the frog doesn't move and instead like has like his bulge thing happen, and that touches your finger.
Ah, he's friendly, I see. Fantastic. What you doing out here?
Says, oh, just finding lots of good things that were left behind by the scared folk who left these here mines.
Yeah. Do you know what scared them off?
Oh, you haven't heard.
I've just heard it's real scary, right? Which, not really descriptive.
He looks you in the eyes and he says,
Them there mines is haunted.
Oh, it's ghosts? Or...
Oh, there's something in there, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, when you say haunted, do you mean like ghosts or like what?
I don't know. Well, you see, a bunch of miners were going about their day. I happened to be nearby at the time, and suddenly a lot of them fled, saying the gates of hell had opened up inside.
Oh. All right, well, I look at Cassandra. I'm like, oh, if it's just the gates of hell, like,
says,
I heard they found a particularly rich vein of voidite, and they were following that vein. I'm talking voidite lining the walls.
wow.
He slaps his knee and he says,
And they were digging, and I mean digging into that new shaft.
Okay, and they dug up something awful and scary?
They found something big, that's for damn sure. And then the sky exploded.
Okay, did the sky exploding happen because of what they found in this mine?
I'm not sure, but all I do know is the sky exploded, and shortly afterward, a lot of miners were running out of them there mines.
Was there a column of light when the sky exploded?
There was!
Okay, and did that come from here?
Did not, ma'am, did not.
Oh. Did you see where it did come from?
Truth be told, I did not. Somewhere to the... was it the west?
Okay, but the light didn't come from here, but after the sky broke open, people ran out of this mine.
They
Even if
sure
it's
did.
not.
Them there mines filled with an eerie black fog.
Oh, okay. Is the
A
fog
fog
what-
so thick you can't see your damn hand in front of your eyes.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Lise looks at Cassandra. She's like, Cassandra, I'm scared of the dark.
and he says,
Some of the miners I heard stayed behind to try and dig up whatever was in there and bring it with them.
Okay,
They haven't come out.
great. So they're super dead. All right.
And neither has that wizard.
Oh, the wizard. Oh, shit. You saw a wizard go in there? What did they look like?
Sure did. Fancy pants wizard with a silly little hat and everything came up just a few days ago. Or just
Fantastic.
yesterday.
I love a silly little hat. All right. Can you give me a description of them besides that? Oh, that's it.
Kind of a little bit full of himself.
Okay. Fair.
He set up camp outside of the cave. Seemed really perturbed by something, real angry like.
Mm-hmm.
Something tells me he don't like his boss.
I mean, who likes their boss?
He says, "Oh, actually, he left something behind. I don't know that he intended to."
What was it?
He goes to his wagon and starts rifling through it, and he stops and he turns to you and says,
Hang on. What you got to trade?
Let me see what it is first, and I will trade you something appropriate for it.
Says, "Well, what you got?"
I've a number of things.
says, all right. And he like looks at you, Helga, and Cassandra, and he says,
I just don't know that I can handle myself if you try to rob me right here.
I give you my solemn oath, sir, we will not rob you of this thing. I'm sure between the three of us, we can find something of value to trade for it.
Bandit oaths aren't worth much around these parts.
We are not common bandits, sir.
Says, hey, you don't look like bandits. But maybe
Exactly.
bandits have a bigger budget these days.
Can I make like a persuasion check to try and convince this guy that I'm trustworthy?
sure.
Because one of my features is, for being a noble, is that people like me more or something like that. Hold on, let me find it.
Okay.
Noble, position of privilege. Thanks to your noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you.
Okay.
Common
Give me
folk
a
make.
persuasion check.
Yeah, cool. Can Cassandra give me the help action by being like, yeah, we're super honorable.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Never mind, natural 20.
Okay. He squints at you a little more and he says,
All right. How about this?
Yeah, she
You
puts her hand on-
promise-
she's like, I'm on my honor, sir.
You make me a solemn vow you'll bring me something cool from inside them there mines, and I'll show you what he left behind.
Sure,
You're going
I
in there,
mean,
right?
Yeah, I'm going in there. I'll find you something. What do you deem cool? Do you want the wizard's hat?
Whoa, the wizard's hat would be pretty cool.
Okay, if I can get you the wizard's hat, I will. If not, I'll find you something of equal value.
But like, don't do that if he's alive. I don't want to get into hot water.
That's the stipulation of if I can't.
and he says,
All right. That is, if you make it out of there alive.
True, we could all perish. So there's really no harm in you showing me what it is.
under her breath, Cassandra says, don't say that.
I like squeeze her arm a little bit, like, or no, I'd message her. I'm like, it's fine. We'll be fine.
And he says,
All right, fair's fair.
and he rifles through his wagon, and he pulls out 3 candles, 3 pillar candles, that are each attached to little candle holders. And he says,
Now, Mr. Wizard Man had lots of these, and he seemed to be real keen on keeping them in his possession. He just left these ones behind at his camp for some reason. I think he just forgot about them.
Might I see one?
yeah. He says,
All right. I mean, you can have them if you want. I'm not sure what I'd do with more candles.
Yes,
My mountain
I'll
shack's already got plenty of candles.
I'll take those off your hands. Can I cast Identify? Or, yeah, possibly. I would do Detect Magic, but Identify might be better. Because if they're just candles, then, like, it's not going to do anything. But if they're, like, spell candles, then that might be worth it.
Yep. So you cast Identify.
Hello, this is the Identify spell. These are Candles of Revealing. They are capable of cutting through even the strongest illusion magic. While some devices may struggle with standard illusion, with heavier illusions, these candles are as strong as physically possible.
Like, fantastic! Can I take the candle and put it into my lantern? So it's like extra illusion magic.
The lantern doesn't seem to do anything, and also I'm not sure how you would fit it in there because it is an oil lantern.
All right, fine. Like, interesting.
Okay.
I'm like, well, okay. I stuff those in my bag, but I'm like, well, I have this lantern, and the lantern is really good at revealing illusions. So if perhaps I won't even need these candles, but I will take them off your hands, and I promise, if I find something really cool in there, you can have it.
To clarify, these candles specifically handle magical darkness. Magical darkness is sometimes too thick and too inky for illusion revealing spells to cut through. These are meant for cutting through incredibly thick clouds of darkness.
Interesting. Oh, I took a counterspell instead of dispel magic. Okay. Interesting. Well, these will probably be useful then. I relay that information to Cassandra.
She says, so he was keen on keeping those, huh?
Yeah, it seems like, well, the old man said that it's black fog, so there's some kind of illusory black fog in there. There's something in there wants to keep everyone in darkness. So that's fun. Oh god, it's gonna be pitch black in there, isn't it? And we're gonna have to fight something. This is like sweating.
He says, well, if that's all you needed, I got more things to grab. I gotta make sure I keep Bloatus fed, right, Bloatus? And he looks up at Bloatus, and Bloatus goes on top of his head.
Thank you, kind sir. You have been most helpful. We shall venture into the mine now, and hopefully we'll see you again.
He says, all right, bring me something cool.
Right. Come on, friends. Let's go. Everyone hold hands.
The three of you hold hands. Who's holding whose hands?
I think I'm gonna tie a rope between the three of us because I don't want to get lost or separated in this darkness.
Okay. There's a rope cinched around your waists.
Okay. And we'll go in as far as we can with the lantern, but if the lantern can't seem to penetrate through the darkness, then I'll light one of the candles.
You approach this cave, and you pull out your lantern. You enter the cave, and at first it's just very dark. It seems like all the torch sconces have been extinguished. However, you get to a point where you kind of hit like an inky black wall. Like it seems like not just darkness. It feels like there's like an actual substance in the air here that is obscuring your vision.
All right. Well, let's give this a try. Snap and light the candle.
You light the candle. The candle starts cutting through this fog, and you walk forward, and it's like struggling to hold back the fog. And you kind of just have this like pill of light around you. But you can, like, your feet, for example, are barely illuminated. And, like, tendrils of this darkness are, like, creeping forward, trying to cut through the light.
As they're walking, Lise just goes, I think now is a bad time to tell you that I'm afraid of the dark.
Your, like, voices are kind of, like, echoing off these walls. And Cassandra says,
And now would probably be a bad time to say I kind of am too.
And Helga says, I am afraid of nothing.
she says, what is there to be afraid of? No one is here.
Well, Helga, we're here to fight a monster, probably.
And you, as you're walking, you occasionally, like, almost trip on like pickaxes and shovels and different work equipment.
I'd like to be looking around to see if I find anything cool for that man.
Are you all holding candles? Or
No,
is only one person holding a candle?
Well, I think that I wanted to conserve them. So I think that Lise is in the middle holding one, but we're all, like, huddled together, like, trying to stay in the light of it.
To be clear, the light is only cutting through the darkness so much that if someone is to share a candle with you, they will be partially obscured in the darkness. Another detail I want to give you is that these candles are not all the same length. Two of them have been partially burned. The first is only a little bit burned. It's about just over mid-length remaining. And the second is just under mid-length remaining. The first one is completely brand new.
All right. Cassandra, do you think that all of us should hold a candle so that we can all remain in the light in case whatever is down here eats people in the darkness? Or do you think that in order to conserve light for us to all see, only one person should hold a candle?
She says, I don't know. And as she's trying to think, you hear something in the darkness.
No! It's the wizard.
You hear something scurry in the darkness.
Oh god, Cassandra. I didn't think about if it had multiple legs, Cassandra. Oh my god. Oh no.
And you...
I think we stop
continue?
walking
Okay.
and try to listen for a minute. I'm like, I tug their ropes so that they're like huddled close. I'm like, all right, listen, can I make a perception check?
Sure. Roll a perception check for me.
16.
You look around and you don't see anything moving, although you can't see very far.
Can I hear anything?
As you listen, you hear beep, 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 beep in the distance.
What?
It's so faint, but you're sure you heard that.
Did you both hear that as well?
Sandra rolled a 2 plus her perception modifier. She, hang on, did not hear that.
Okay, I quietly recreate the sound that I heard.
She says, it's probably just a rat.
Cassandra, how much do you believe that cave bunnies are real?
She says, I mean, I kind of also assumed that maybe it was like a story.
Well, we're about to find out, I think. Let's go. No turning back now.
So you all huddle around the one candle? Or do you waste
Helga,
the other
what-
candles?
Helga, what do you think? Would you like to hold a candle, Helga, or would you like to follow the light of this one?
Helga says, Helga can see with one candle.
I'm just worried about. Here's what I'm worried about. All right, I'm worried that I'm going to give you 2 candles. Right, it'll be lighter, which is probably better. However, they're all going to burn out, and then we'll be stuck down here in the darkness. Is what I'm worried about. How long
Says-
do candles last?
Okay. This one seems like it's gonna last decently long. You think you can get pretty deep into the cave with it?
All right, I light the candles. I give one to each of them. I'm scared I'm going to be stuck down here without light, but I am also scared that something's going to grab one of them in the darkness. As long as we kill it, what does it matter, right? It's fine. It's fine.
Who takes which candle?
I give the longest burning one to Cassandra. I
Okay.
take the one that has the lowest light, or the halfway, and I give the other one to Helga.
Okay. As you light up the other candles, you look over at Helga as you're handing her the candle.
No, you are making my spine like, ugh, I don't like this. Stop talking in that voice.
You're almost certain. Give me a perception check.
No, I already did a perception check. Perception. 21.
It's 21. You definitely saw something right next to her.
No.
The moment that light, and like she takes the candle, whatever it was retreats into the darkness.
Oh, sorry. I can't. You're making me scared. And so I have to keep looking behind me because I have an irrational fear that something's going to come at me from behind.
You're almost certain that you saw eyes.
All right, everybody, stay in the light of your candles. I message Cassandra and I tell her what I saw, trying not to freak out Helga.
She says, "Are you sure?
I'm
Eyes?"
positive. I'm positive. I saw it.
She says, "I think we should get through here as quickly as possible."
Okay, let's go. Everybody pick up the pace. The candles are lit. The light is going. The we can see. Don't make a lot of noise, but also don't stray from your light. All right, Helga, hold it close to you like this so you're in the light. Okay? Good job.
Says,
Yep, let's go.
Okay, Helga can see just fine.
Nope, it's not about if you can see, babe. It's about what can see you, okay?
Says what? Nothing is in here.
Nope, let's go. Keep going.
As you begin walking forward again,
God, it really doesn't help that it's so dark in my room. So
something
scared.
suddenly shifts.
No.
You get the feeling that something was right in front of you, and as you started moving, it retreated.
Oh, God. The
You
hairs
hear-
on the back of my neck are standing up.
You hear stones shift and a few fall and tumble about. It's undeniable. Something was just there and is no longer there.
All right, you bitch. All right, you bitch. I got my lights on, okay? All right, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, huh? I got my lights on, you stupid bitch.
You hear in the
Lisa's
darkness again.
reactions when she's scared is to just get angry so that she doesn't feel the fear.
You hear in the darkness again the beep, 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 beep.
It's a cave bunny. I don't know what it is, but I think that's what it is. Let's go. Come on. We continue on.
You continue on.
Lisa's just trying to remain angry so that she doesn't get scared and try and leave.
You continue deeper into the mines, and you find 3 identical branches of mine shafts.
Does one
Remind
look
me,
new?
did you take out your lantern? I can't remember.
Yeah, well, it's attached to my hip.
The light from that lantern, you notice, it's unable to quite cut through the inky black darkness. What seems to be happening? Give me an Arcana check, actually, and I'll decide how much I tell you.
That wasn't very good. 12.
Okay. What seems to be happening, from what you can tell, which isn't much, but it seems like maybe it's trying to cut through this inky blackness. The candles are being more effective at it. It seems like something is actively casting this magic, is your best guess.
I should have taken Dispel Magic, is what I should have done.
You think to yourself that if you had cast a spell magic, it would only dispel it for a fleeting moment before it would reappear. Because again, it feels like this magic is actively being cast.
Okay. Cassandra, I guess I'll relay that. I think something is keeping this fog here. Look at my lantern. It's like this wasn't a spell that was cast. It is being casted.
And she says, not only that, I think your lantern is doing something. And she points ahead at the three caverns. Even when you back up a bit and the lights aren't illuminating it, you can kind of see the outline of the caverns through the dark. It seems like your lantern isn't able to dispel the fog, but is still trying to dispel other illusions. And what's weird is that you're seeing like magical auras in these hallways where it looks like the magic of the lantern isn't penetrating through. It looks like something about these caverns is preventing magic from moving through, including the magic of your lantern's dispel illusions. That said, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a voidite mine.
That said, the three mine shafts have like different amounts of this happening. The leftmost mine shaft is like almost completely devoid of this effect. Like there's not very much of this like magic capturing happening. The second to the middle mine shaft kind of has a bit of it going on. You can kind of see a little bit of that magic event horizon, kind of like a black hole a little bit, around, kind of speckled around. However, the rightmost cavern you see, it's kind of lit up like a light bulb. There's so much of this like event horizon effect happening.
So it would be safe to say like that is probably the direction we should go if we want to find this thing.
I don't know.
So, sorry, can you explain that to me again?
So the kind of like magical effect that your lantern has, you've seen it before. Whenever it like dispels things, it kind of like illuminates them in like this kind of golden light. But that's not really what's happening here. It's kind of like that magic is attempting to go dispel things, and then something's absorbing it. And it's creating, if you ever seen like a black hole, the event horizon.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Okay. By that logic, that is the vein, that is the new shaft with the most voidite, which is where the monster is. So, to me, that means we should go to the right.
Sandra says, oh, fuck, of course we're going toward the monster.
Cassandra, we are here to fight the monster. Like, what do you mean? Do I see anything, if I like get low to the ground, do I see any like footprints or like any sign of this wizard?
Give me a perception check.
Did I pass his grave on the way here? Oh, it was cocked. I'm gonna roll it again. Okay. 15.
All right. So this is a sort of like, I like to do this with rolls where it's not like an obvious success or failure. It's kind of like a sliding scale.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this is a partial success. You actually do see a couple footprints, and it looks like they were made from like very fancy boots. They're not very grippy. They're kind of flat surfaced.
Right.
It looks like maybe he was trying to obscure them though. But another thing you notice is there's other tracks in here that you don't recognize. And with a 15,
Great.
you can't quite place the shape of these tracks.
Are there like multiple? Like, does it look like it has a lot of legs? Like,
It's hard to determine the number of legs and or appendages.
are the tracks coming and going from a certain hallway?
You can't quite tell with a 15.
It's kind of muddled. Okay. She's like, all right, well, there's a monster here, and the wizard has been here as well. Although, I don't know why he's trying to obscure his tracks, unless someone's following him, which is us. But unlucky for him, I'm very smart. So, to the right, where we will surely not meet our doom.
That candle, by the way, the one you're holding, is about a third of the way burnt now from where it was originally.
Let's pick up our pace. Let's go.
Which shaft do you head down?
The right one.
Okay. You proceed down the right shaft, and you keep having that disturbing feeling that something is nearby you.
Yeah.
Give me another perception check.
God damn, a lot of perception checks. These dice are good to me. That's a 25.
Helga
hide.
at one point raises
hide
her
nothing.
candle up to look at the ceiling.
Okay.
Only for a moment, and then lowers it back down while you keep walking. And you swear that when she stopped to look at the ceiling and lowered her candle back down for a split second, there was something on her boot.
Helga.
And whatever it was instantly slithered away.
Helga, stay within your light, please. Please look at me. Stay within your light. Promise.
She says, it was interesting. There's a purple metal on ceiling.
Yeah, that's the voidite. Do you remember that? The armor?
We have purple metal that we sold, yes.
Yeah. This is what it's made of. It is bad for magic, which, is not great for us. But Helga, you're not going to get scared because you're fearless. There is something in here that is trying to eat us. And when you step out of your light, it is trying to eat you. So I need you to stay within your light so that we don't get eaten, okay?
She says, okay. I mean, I just be friends with it and then it not want to eat me.
No, honey, it's one of those enemies of friendship. Do you remember we've talked about those? Yeah, that's why we needed you here, right? Enemy of friendship. Yep, terrible. It wants to eat you because you are friendship. You have so many friends. That's why it wants to eat you. And so we have to make sure that it doesn't eat you.
He says, why would be anti-friendship? That is such bad thing to be. She, without thinking, raises her candle again and lowers it. And when she lowers it, you hear...
Cassandra! Or not Cassandra. Helga! What did I just say? Okay, I'm holding my candle, but I'm also holding Helga's hands so that she keeps her candle down. And I shoot a look at Cassandra that says, don't you fucking dare step out of your candlelight.
Cassandra is like being really stern with how she holds her candle. She's like holding it perfectly chest level and not moving it.
Lisa's like, you fucking monster. I'm gonna get you, whatever you are. All right, let's go. I tug them forward more.
You proceed deeper into the mine shaft, and you come upon a second fork.
Not this again. Which one has the bigger event horizon?
It all seems to be equally heavy in voidite. You get the feeling that they were trying to branch out to see if they could duplicate their work in different directions. But But as you're trying to figure out a way to determine where to go next, you step on a piece of paper. And if you kneel down to grab it, I will send you the contents.
I very carefully, keeping my light with me, pick up the paper.
As you stand back up after grabbing it, you get that, like, you know when, like, something is near you physically,
Yeah.
but you don't touch it, but,
Ugh,
like, you
stop. I
feel
hate
that
that.
you almost touched something. You get that feeling as you stand back up.
Lisa's like, she's not punching her fist out of the light, but she's like punching around like this in front of her. She's like fucking try me.
You look at the paper, and I just sent you the contents.
All right. I hold it up to the candle. I'm like, all right. It says, if you're the search party sent after me, I fear. Oh, God. Oh, no. If you're the search party sent after me, I fear my trap may now work against you. There is something in these caves. It is after me. It cannot be easily fought, thus it must be outsmarted. 2 of these mine shafts are false. 1 is real. Though they are not illusions, rather I used my magic to quickly form them. I cannot disclose which are false and which are real, in case this monstrosity is intelligent. So I will leave you with one final note. Take any port in a storm. Fuck. Hold on. All right, I turn to Cassandra. Couple of things. 2 of these mine shafts are false. 1 is real. But there are only 2.
There's 3. Did I say 2?
Oh,
I meant 3.
You said okay. Oh, I was like, hold on, this is going way over my head. Yeah,
I think I
there
said
were-
this. You reached the second fork, but there are 3 mine shafts again.
Oh, okay, that's probably what it was. Whoo. Okay, so only one of them is real. Great. Either I use my magic to quickly form them. I cannot disclose which are false and which are real in case this monstrosity is intelligent. Okay. Take any port in a storm. Does the voidite around me prevent me from casting magic in here?
You can cast magic in here, you just can't cast it through the metal.
Okay.
Like, you can't, like, have your spells pass through it.
Okay. Can I cast detect magic to see if it illuminates the ones that were created with magic?
You can certainly try
Okay.
if you want.
Yeah. Cast detect magic. Step 1. Detect magic.
You don't detect any magical auras. It seems like these are physical caves that the wizard created, that he bore out of the earth in order to lead something off of his trail.
All right. Okay. Cassandra, you've been at sea far longer than I have. Do you have any ideas? Take any port in a storm.
I mean, usually that just refers to just not, not being picky, if it's a shitty, crappy port, you're not your destination, you still should touch down to avoid the storm. But
Right.
I don't know if that's really applicable here.
Well, it's the hint he gave us, so it has to mean something. Can I do a perception check to see if there's anything distinguishable about either one of these caves? Or anything about the entrance themselves?
They are really expertly made. He went out of his way to make these indistinguishable.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Some of these caves, choose magic phone is real. Which are false. Take any port in a storm. Truly, I have no idea what that could possibly mean.
You have 3 choices in front of you.
Yeah.
Left, middle, and right.
Right. What? Port side is the back of a ship, right? That's not like either side of a ship.
I don't know, is it?
I don't know. What the fuck? I don't know anything about ships. All right, you're gonna make me Google it.
Left side of the ship. The side that is left-handed when you are on the ship.
Take any port in a storm. I have no other inkling as to what I could possibly do in this scenario. If my magic is not effective and they all look the same, if my only hint is any port in a storm, the only other meaning of any one of these words is port for me. So I think that means we should go left.
Okay.
Cassandra, what do you think? What do you think, Cassandra? What do you think?
Says, port is the left side of the ship.
Does that make sense to you? All right. I mean, look, the worst case scenario, it just burns out all our candles and we die in here. So let's go.
She says, don't say that. And you proceed down the left corridor.
I hope I'm really good at puzzles, and that was the right one.
As you are proceeding forward, at one point, a glob of something thick and viscous splashes on the floor in front of you. You've been following. You're starting to follow minecart tracks now, and they splash onto the minecart tracks, and you hear a as it hits the wood.
Acid?
And you continue down, following these tracks, and you come upon a third fork.
God damn it. Let me guess, this wizard left me another note.
The candle you're holding, by the way, has only about a third of what you originally had left.
All right, let's pick up the pace, ladies, okay? Let's.
As you make your way to this third fork here, you find yet again 3 identical mine shafts, and the minecart rails end midway through this little cavern here, and you once again step on another note.
All right. I'm like, damn this wizard. I guess he's telling us the right way to go, but I mean.
And do you pick up the note?
Yes.
When you do,
I'm just gonna blindly charge ahead.
When you do and stand back up, another glob of something viscous hits the floor next to your boot, painfully close to your boot. And you
Can
hear
I
again.
see it in the light?
You can't. It dripped from somewhere just above you that was out of the ring of light.
Well, I mean, like, while I'm picking up the note, is whatever fell, can I see what it was?
You can
Or
kneel
it's
back
not.
down to look. This happened when you were standing back up.
I take the light with me, all right?
You kneel back down, and it's some thick, viscous, greenish fluid.
Detect magic.
There doesn't seem to be any magic here, other than the magic that's seemingly conjuring this darkness.
All right, I stand back up. Cassandra, something's dripping like acid down from the ceiling. That's not good.
And when you stand back up again, you once again get that bizarre feeling that something was looming just over you.
I think Lise isn't used to being like scared like this. I think that she just starts like her like I don't know, her anger instincts take over, and she just starts going like, I'm determined to be the scariest thing in this damn mine shaft.
As you look at this second note, this is what you read. I just sent it to you.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. I believe we followed the correct one the first time, so that's good news. This one says, I fear this note may fall on deaf ears, but the creature is still after me. My heart sinks to think it was smart enough to solve my riddle. My only hope now is to descend deeper. Abandon hope, all ye who also take the dive. Okay. Interesting. I fear this note may fall on deaf ears, but the creature is still after me. My heart sinks to think it was smart enough to solve the riddle. My hope now is to descend deeper. Abandon hope, all ye who also take the dive. Is there is one of the passages like descending in any way?
They all seem to be going about the same level. And these minecart tracks, again, end midway through the chamber suddenly and don't follow any of these passages.
And again, they all like look the same. There's no like... Well, the only things that stick out to me in this note is that several words all refer to descending or sinking or diving in some way. But there's also the only other thing, I fear this note may fall on deaf ears, but I don't know what. Am I supposed to plug my ears? Is that going to make me bad? I don't think so. Do you have any ideas, Cassandra?
She says, I don't know, but we should probably make a decision sooner than later.
And
Okay,
she looks
yeah.
at your candle height.
Listen,
She says, can I take that one?
No. I will die before you do. And
She
you know
says,
that.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
I don't care. It's not
Okay,
up
we
for
need to
debate.
go somewhere now.
It's not up for debate. Are any of the walls like wet in any way? Is there water?
Nothing that sticks out.
That stinks.
When you touch the surfaces, they all seem like generally damp. But like it doesn't seem like an unnatural amount of dampness, just what you would typically expect in kind of a dank cave.
Trying to see if you didn't refresh Cassandra's spell slots.
Oh, whoops.
I'm just trying to see if thank you. No, she doesn't have anything. I was hoping she had like guiding or guidance or something, but I think that might be a cleric spell. Damn. I don't know that I have anything. I don't know that it's anything I have to cast per se. I think that this is maybe just a riddle that I don't understand. The first one, it was a word that meant something else, but I don't know that I see anything like that in this one. I fear this note may fall on deaf ears. The creature is still after me. Sinks. I think it was smart enough to solve my riddle. Hope now is to descend deeper. Abandon hope. Abandon hope. All ye who also take the dive. I really don't know. I have no idea.
Just realized where's Foxbud? I've been assuming the Foxbud's in Lisa's bag.
Yeah, he's just in my backpack. He's chilling. We don't have a candle for him, so he's
He's missing. Interesting.
Shut the hell up.
You
shut
haven't
the
heard from Foxbud in a while.
No, I tied a rope around him in my backpack as well.
Interesting. It looks like the rope has
munching.
been gnawed.
I hear him munching on the rest of the bacon strips in there. I really don't know. I have no idea.
You all begin kind of looking around the room.
Yeah, can I make another perception check? Like, is that gonna help?
Cassandra raises her candle for just a moment.
Cassandra!
And
I stand closer to her So her light, she's in my light as well.
When she brings it back to herself, you can see just over her shoulder. This time you don't see eyes. You see a row of razor-sharp teeth.
I hiss at it.
But it's
Only I
just
get to
for a
bite my
moment.
girlfriend. Only I get to bite my girlfriend. My fiance. Only I get to bite my fiance.
It didn't look like the mouth was open. It looked like it was baring its teeth.
All right, fuck. I don't know which way to go. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just start walking. I don't know. I don't
Which
know.
passage do you walk down?
Cassandra, I'm going to lead us to our deaths now because this note doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm so sorry that I'm stupid and my stupidity is going to get us killed. I don't know. Descend deeper? I don't know. Deaf ears. Descend deeper. Dive. All of those are D. I don't think that means anything. Right, left, middle, no. I don't know. Which one? Okay, first we went right and then we went left. That doesn't mean anything. The middle. I don't know. Fuck it. We're gonna die in here.
You begin walking down this middle passage, and you eventually come to a dead end.
Dead end? Yeah. Shit. All right. I run back to the fork. I'm running. We are running.
As you're proceeding back, your candle burns out.
All right. I yank Cassandra and Helga closer to me, and I'm like, all right, this is it. Let's go. I just walk we're running pretty much as we can that won't burn out the candle.
As you pull them closer, you realize that the ring of light around them won't fully illuminate you, and your legs especially are consumed by this inky black darkness. I'm going
it
to
won't matter.
roll a die here really quick.
Okay, cool. As we're running, Lee says, Cassandra, if I suddenly get pulled into the darkness, promise me you're just gonna run out of this cave. Just go back to the entrance.
You suddenly give me a wisdom save.
Yes, sir. Ooh. Actually, not ooh, but 15?
You feel what feels like, I'm trying to think of how to describe this. They're like tendrils, but are very thin, like hairs. You feel something like that brush over your left leg in the darkness. And as it does, I think you feel like a sliminess through your pant leg. And as that sliminess touches your skin, you hear something in the distance. Tell me, what is the saddest thing that Lise can imagine?
Oh God. I mean, probably like all of her friends dying. Like, probably like Cassandra dying.
So Cassandra dying?
Yeah.
You hear, even though she's right next to you, you can see her face when you turn to look at her. You hear in the distance of this long, dark mine shaft, you hear her voice cry out in agony and pain. You hear Cassandra's dying breath in the dark.